If the finals are all about form, then back the Bays this afternoon. Glenelg finished the minor round unbeaten in 7 weeks, and they mauled Sturt just a fortnight ago.
It's a really good reflection of the leadership quality that we've got at the club. That they've been prepared to persist and just stick at it.
Anywhere but the Adelaide Oval for the Double Blues. They've played here just 3 times in 2007 for 3 losses, all to Final 5 sides. Can they beat history and the Bays?
Yeah, we're also excited about what's ahead more than what happened the last month or so.
Stand by for the elimination final. It's Sturt versus Glenelg. And a feast of finals football here this afternoon at the beautiful Adelaide Oval. It's overcast, a little bit wet, a little bit windy, but plenty of footy to look forward to. Hello, everyone. And Nick Chickwidden is with us this afternoon. Chicky, you're a Bay man. How do you see the first final?
I think it's going to be a great game. Sturt have got some big players coming back, and it's going to make it a bit hard for Glenelg, but I think we're in for a great game of football. As we said, plenty of finals footy. Double-header action first up. It's the elimination match with Sturt playing Glenelg. The loser is out. And then the qualifying final between North Adelaide and the Eagles later this afternoon. Mark Soderstrom is on the boundary as usual for us, and Soder's quick run down to the Bay this morning just to get warm.
Yes, pulled up very sore in the city to Bay, Neil, but did get through, and like yourself, I think a couple of injuries, get some ice on those and we'll be right. Now, the Double Blues, a host of changes, some big ins. Benny Nelson missed 2 games with a foot. He's back in, the captain. They need him. And how's this for some AFL experience? Matner, Thompson and also Bentley in, and they're going to really need that. Now, last week was a big loss to North Adelaide. Despite that, their coach Rick McGowan is confident they can do the job.
Yeah, it was disappointing. We obviously lost a couple of key players in Feast and Sheedy, good leaders of the club, and it really hurt us. And probably we worked on it all week about when a side gets momentum, and we think yeah, we can work against that next time. But yeah, we probably lacked a bit of experience on the field at the time.
You're confident you've put enough things in place during the week to turn that around?
I'll let you know in a couple of hours' time. But no, everything's pretty smooth at the moment, and yeah, we're pretty confident.
As Soda said, there's some big names coming back in there and some experience for Sturt. It certainly makes it look like a pretty formidable team there, but I still think Chambers up forward is the key for Sturt.
Absolutely, and Sodas, I guess the Bays are certainly a little bit more steady.
Yeah, they are. Look, they certainly are on a roll. They've played some great football. They've beaten Sturt twice this year and only a fortnight ago, so they are pretty keen on the way they're going to go. Now, James Sellers only played the 7 games for Glenelg. Big raps on him at the start of the year, drafted by the Crows. We saw Matty Doldy go down last week with an ankle. He's out, so Sellers come back in for just game number 8. So interesting to see how he goes. And Benny Moore, the former skipper's announced his retirement, but he's back from a hamstring as well. So we look forward to seeing him go. First final series since '99 for the Bays, but Mark Micken hasn't spent much time talking about that with his players.
Oh, we haven't focused on that at all, really. It's just continuing, good momentum, good form, and making sure they play with real intensity. And, that's what really wins finals, is just good intensity over 4 quarters.
And with Sturt, the last 2 times you've beat them, you've done very well. Confidence must be pretty high against them.
Yeah, confidence is high, but I think also an understanding that the job still needs to be done, and this is a final. It's all up for grabs, and it means that we've got to just step it up a notch again.
Glenelg has certainly got some big ins as well. Douglas has been in great form all year. Moore, a very important player. But I think, as I mentioned, with Chambers being the key, Rudolph has been in great form all year. I'm really looking forward to that contest.
Absolutely, and so does the weather. Obviously, is going to play a part. I talked about it being a little bit windy and wet. Is it going to improve?
Well, it certainly turned. It was pretty clear this morning. Overcast but clear. We've had some rain probably about the last half hour in the build-up to the game, and some breeze that's going across the ground. If anything, it could favour the team kicking to the right for the start of this match.
Thanks for that. Everything's set for the start of this game. Here's Michael Maney with the first bounce.
The elimination final at the Adelaide Oval. Sudden death, umpires Day, Feeler and Rouston. Underway, good crowd in. The Adelaide Oval, what a venue for a final. Away goes Kane for Glenelg, over to Fisher. It got back to Kane, so Glenelg get the first foray forward. On a lead is Seller, and he makes it. He's in. Didn't play last week, James Sellers. Moving pretty well. He'll need to do that in the elimination final. He's got it a couple of kicks out from goal. Ben Nelson won the toss and kicked to right of screen. So the Bays inside 50. Big pack of players over the back. Danger man McConnell close to the line. Can't get there. Walk ushers in over the line. Good start to this game, Nick.
Good start. I think it's really important Seller gets some early touches to get his confidence up. He hasn't played a lot of league footy this year, but as you said, McConnell is the danger man up forward.
No doubt about that. Feast has come up. He's in the side. Herring missing out. A lot of players around the footy. Light rain falling, and the weather could play a part. Crane gets tackled to ground and a ball up. Plenty of pressure on. You'll expect both teams to tackle pretty hard in this elimination final.
You certainly will, and I think it's going to be a bit tight in there, especially with this wet weather. There's going to be a few fumbles made early.
Sturt with an opportunity through Maclay. Wide for Sheedy. Down the line, Crane. So it's out of bounds on the scoreboard side of the ground. So does who's on the Sturt bench.
You can see there on the left, big Fabian DeLuca, who'll be called on to do a little bit of ruck work later on. The veteran Timmy Weatherald and Evan Hurst.
So Feast perhaps had the better of that. Really direct the ball as such. Sturt in quickly, but just as quickly tackled. And Chiggy, I guess in this weather, who does this advantage? Because Sturt known this season for their work around the stoppages. They've really concentrated on that.
I think it does favour Sturt slightly. Glenelg do like to run the footy, but they have been good all year at putting pressure on the player with the ball, which they're doing at the moment. But I still think Sturt are probably favoured by this wet weather.
Sheedy was just held on to, so he distributes the ball wide and Sturt away through Crane. He's got a bit of space to work to. Goes for Feast in centre field. They're running. Here's Bentley. Breaks a tackle. Gets the hand pass away. Was held late. Avery now with the ball inside 50. Chambers on the lead. And this is going to be the story all day, you would think, for the Sturt football side. How much ball can they get quickly through the centre corridor to this man?
Well, they certainly need to be putting more pressure on coming through the midfield. There's not much Sammy Rudolph could do in that situation. Lace out, Chambers leading hard.
Breeze will take the ball from right to left, left to right as you actually look at it, down the ground. And Chambers leaves it to the right.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't be happy with that. He's a very accurate kick, normally, Brant Chambers, and they need the first goal certainly to settle down, but Glenelg need to put pressure on through that midfield, as was mentioned earlier.
Chambers has been in such spectacular goal-kicking form. Kirk with a handball to Hinge. Hinge goes down the line to the wing. Smith, he's been good lately, the big fellow. He's been a bit maligned at Glenelg, Jeff Smith, but he has been sensational for them the last couple of weeks. Goes to half forward with a kick, but chopped off by Whiteman. Whiteman will look inboard. Skimmy old kick. Sharples missed it. They go in hard. Thompson will get a free kick. And Adam Thompson's got the free kick. Over the top to the running Feast. He has gone forward and kicked goals and set them up, Simon Feast. The target, obviously, is Chambers. Why wouldn't you go to the big man? He's booted over 100. Rudolph has ridden him into the ground. No free kick. Crowd wanted one. Ball flicks over the back. Ruwalt's in there hard. Ball dished off. In goes Fisher. Caught one on the way through. Umpire Day just lets it go. Let's go to Sodas and the Glenelg bench.
And see, furthest from the camera there, fella Tommy Holmes made his debut last week. He was sensational, in particular the third quarter, streaming out of the centre. Ty Allen's with him, and also Big Trev Cranston.
Sturt go forward again. In goes Sharples, held with the football. And umpire Rouston will call for a ball up. He's pretty nippy, Sharples. Kicked a couple of goals last week and looked pretty impressive. And we'll just watch for him. He's got a bit of magic about him, apparently. Haven't seen him live. Good to see him in action in a final. It's amazing how finals can bring young players into the game. Remember Matthew Stokes back a few years ago making his debut for Woodville West Torrens.
Yeah, he read that beautifully too there, Sharples. He looks like dangerous person around the goals there.
Kirk for Glenelg knocked it down to Moore, who just went to ground. Here's Sharples, gets the handball away. Crane, could be first blood for the Double Blues, but he's hooked the kick away for a behind. A couple of chances gone begging early for the Double Blues.
Crane, another important player there for Sturt. He's been dangerous all year. Again, normally pretty dangerous around goals. Sturt certainly peppering the goals at the moment, but not getting the results they want.
Crane, number 2 on the goal-kicking list for Sturt this season, kicking 26 goals. Of course, 106 for Chambers. Out and out, the best goal kicker in the league this season. Grant Chambers, Michael mentioned he's had a couple of good days against Glenelg. 5-1 in round 20, 4-1 in round 13, and in round 2, 6 straight. So he's had a few big occasions with Glenelg.
I do think, though, if they can keep him to four goals, it's certainly going to be a good effort today. He's a great player. He's going to certainly get his 3 or 4, you would think.
And another stoppage. Going to see plenty of this afternoon. We mentioned the drizzly rain. The surface will be a bit slippery, and there's a breeze around as well, which will make the skills a little bit awkward on occasion. Here's Smith, came in late, took it out of the ruck, quick hand pass. Kane couldn't handle it. Mattner inside 50 with a kick, and Crane on the chest. Well, that was just taking advantage of a bit of a slip, and again it was a skills error, and it's been turned over. A free kick down behind the play, and Kane will take the free kick for Glenelg, and they'll get away from their defensive area, and that's a bit of fortune because Crane obviously had the mark inside 50 for Sturt.
It might have been against Thompson. He was the man standing the mark. Not quite sure. Bentley over the top. The handball. Mattner got it away to Thompson. They work it nicely back with Sheedy. Sheedy up and under kick. Where's Chambers in the middle of this? Kurtz flies. Raving well with Sharp was held. No free kick. Crowd can't believe it. Sherwood goes to ground for the Tigers, and the ball's locked up. I thought Sharple should have won a free kick.
Let's have a look at it here. Certainly the ball just popped out there. Probably pretty lucky to get away with that, Glenelg.
Oh, Kirk, amazing stuff. The old scissor out of the ruck. Ball goes close to the line. Running hard is Marnie. Can't keep it in. And a boundary throw in. Amazing athleticism from Daniel Kirk.
He's very athletic for a big man, Kirk, and can do some pretty good things. He was great last week against the Eagles.
Yeah, I thought his intensity was really good, Chiggy. He's up again. Feast got the better of it. And we see another stoppage, and as Neil Cross said a moment ago, we'll see plenty of that this afternoon. It's who can win the ball and get the break from the stoppage that could decide the winner of this game. Up they go. Feast down. Mules, the skipper of the Bays, who booted 10 or 11 goals straight last year and's only got a couple of behinds, but playing off half back last year was able to drift forward. This year has been a little bit more accountable down in that back half.
He certainly has, and had a few more options up forward too, which has probably helped. Last year Glenelg didn't have a lot of goal kickers.
Thompson slipped the hand pass out. Crane was taken high. Luke Crane will go back and have another shot at goal.
He's certainly getting plenty of the footy at the moment, Crane. It is his sort of weather, there's no doubt about that. But getting a lot of the ball. Want to make the most of this kick.
First season in SANFL football out of Tasmania via Queensland to Sturt. Lines it up, gets under it. Accuracy is not quite there, nor distance, and it's rushed through for the minor score. Double Blues have started with 3 behinds.
Yes, they've that one not making the distance, but Douglas in the old 1-2 to Fisher, about to get closed down by Nelson. Fisher got the kick away. No one can take the mark. Feast is there working hard on the ground. Back well, tried to flick it to Douglas, comes back to Kirkby working hard down the ground. Here's Moore, looping handball across. This is Sugars. Sugars goes long inside 50. McConnell will use his body, walked in well, thumped it away. Good player walk, back on it is McConnell. Just went down, flicked it out to Holmes. Sugars carried on. Oh, Crude was buttoned on Sugars. And you just don't do that when you're inside 50. Ricky McGowan off shot, really frustrated with that. He will be. And here's the button free kick. That's there every day of the week.
Certainly there, that one. It was just very untidy, wasn't it? Sugars underneath it.
Well, this will hurt Sturt because the Double Blues have gone inside 5 times. Glenelg, this is just their second forward. So if Sugars can nail this, that will hurt them. Good looking kick. It tails away for a behind. It was online, but that breeze really did take it away to the right. That's a pointer for all the Glenelg forwards who have a shot for goal in the meantime.
That breeze certainly affecting the kicks out there at the moment, as we can see 4 points at this stage for the game. Sturt are controlling the footy though. Glenelg with one quick option there.
Walk brings the ball in. Feast, good work. Used the body nicely. Just getting rid of Kirk. delivers it short for Gum. He looks up on the left foot. He's got Thompson free. He's got plenty of space to work with. Chambers goes back towards the square. You're backing from here. Yes. He just had Rudolph looking around and feeling, and that was the perfect setup for Brant Chambers, and a very, very good delivery forward by the Double Blues.
Yes, I think Kane had pushed down the ground, and Thompson was way out there on his own, had plenty of time to settle, balance, get a good kick, and pretty hard there. Chambers uses his body well. He's a strong man, and I would say this is a certainty, this one, Mike.
Chambers from 10 metres out puts it into the Bradman stand. The Double Blues have their first goal of the afternoon.
Well, they just seem to be working a bit harder around the stoppages and that at the moment, Sturt. They're very good around the stoppages. Have focused on that this year, as we see Thompson out there with plenty of room. Kane got caught pushing down the ground, turnover. Plenty of time to get it in quick and long to Chambers, and it's going to be pretty hard for Rudolph if that's the way it's going to be delivered all day.
Nice kick by Thompson. He really did set up Chambers there. I don't think he'll mind it, Chambers, whether it's wet or dry. He's an outstanding forward, and he'll kick them from anywhere as well. Back in the centre, I think Cranston might have had a bit of got a bit of jumper tugging going on there, but anyway, it's a free kick to DeLuca in the centre as Feast has taken a spell on the bench. DeLuca right in the centre of the ground, long kick inside the 50. Chambers just got under it. Who can rove it? Ball thumped away. Clean bowled Nelson. Ruwalt was there. Ball goes to ground. Umpire will say, give it to me. It's a pretty willing contest. You'd expect that in an elimination final. A man on the bottom of that pack was Ty Allen. 12 minutes gone. Sturt with a goal to Chambers. They've done most of the attacking in the elimination final. Ball was touched. And Evans, who was trying to get the kick away, had it smothered. We'll have another stoppage. So, pretty tight start. Sugar's missing a goal just a moment ago for the Bays. DeLuca just with an enormous height advantage. Hinge goes to ground. And another ball up. Gee, I'd like to know the stoppage rate. There's Rick McGowan and Luke Norman just in the foreground there. A lot of whispers around the traps that Luke Norman's looking for a coaching job, a senior coaching job. Might just need another year or two, according to some scribes around the place. Cranston with a free kick. Sugars is gone. Chambers mows him down from behind. And he's half a chance here. And I'll tell you what, if he doesn't give the ball up, there'll be 25. He's off. Chambers from outside 50. Gets a long piece of it. It's going. It's going. It's gone. 2 goals to a big spearhead of the Double Blues, and their fans would be happy with that piece of play from Brant Chambers.
Here we go, the lack of talk from the Glenelg team there. Sugar's just no idea that he was about to get mowed down by Chambers, and he wanted to get on with it really quickly. Knew that he was probably going to be just out of his range if he didn't get on and play on quickly, but beautiful leg. He's looking really dangerous up forward, but disappointing from the Glenelg point of view. Not enough talk to let his player know that he was going to get tackled.
So you don't see that often from a full forward. Just the ability to lead quickly is one thing, but to charge into somebody and run them down like that is very special. Sharple's read it off the pack. He's got a bit of space to work with. He waits, has to go back inside. Nobody led to this side of the ground, and he's almost kicked a goal. Gee, that was almost something out of the bag from Sharples.
Good play by Sharples. He was the only player that stayed down. 2 Glenelg players and another Sturt player went for the contest. Sharples stayed on the ground and created an opportunity.
15 points the difference. He's looking to be the X factor. Sharples, advantage, free kick paid. Fisher goes down the wing, very wide. Kirkby and Smith. Smith took the mark. He had a couple of goes at it. Smith wants to get on with play pretty quickly. And that's not bad thinking at all, because the Bays really do need a steadier here somewhere. They need a goal just to get them on the board, just to get a feel for this game.
Chicky, they're just isolating McConnell in the goal square, and he's a long way off the play, and he's a small player against Walk, an inexperienced player. What do you think of that matchup?
Well, he hasn't even had the opportunity to have a look at it at this stage. It's only been inside 50 twice for Glenelg compared to 9 times for Sturt, so Sturt are just dominating around the midfield. But McConnell, he needs to get it out in and quick so he can use his smart footy brain.
McClay gives Walker chop out. Bays in the centre. Oh, no free kick. loose ball. Sheedy got the quick kick away to O'Keefe. O'Keefe to Gum. Gum's missed some football with a hamstring. Short kick. Here's a good one. Finds O'Keefe. O'Keefe wants to go in short to Chambers. But the punch away comes from Rudolph. Out of bounds.
Back behind play, there'll be a stretcher come out. Crane crashing into his own man. He's down, and I think he may have been out for just a few moments.
That will certainly hurt Sturt. He's been fantastic in these opening minutes, Crane. Great attack on the footy, and that, yeah, you see he pretty much out straight away. I think clash of heads, and he's not in a good way there. Looks like he's okay now, but probably going to be a little bit groggy for a while, I would think.
Chiggy, worth remembering too, last time these sides met a fortnight ago, Sturt were on top and it was Crane and Thompson in the centre that had Glenelg worried. And Backwell cleaned up Thompson. He was off the ground. Looks like now a reversal of players going off, and that could change things again like it did a fortnight ago.
Yes, he's certainly not looking good there. I think he's going to have to come off for a while. There's no doubt about that, but he's been exceptional in the first quarter. That will hurt Sturt, no doubt about that. A bit of blood there on the head as well. It's certainly a hard clash.
Yes, and that's his introduction to finals football at SANFL level. And I guess, Chiggy, the only thing you can draw out of that is at least both players in Gum and Crane from Sturt were committed to the ball.
Yes, that's certainly a great example of how Sturt have attacked the footy in these opening minutes of the game. They're committed to the footy, every one of them. And just a bit unlucky.
They've both got hard heads.
They certainly have.
Well, Gum's is harder, obviously.
Yeah, but he never took his eye off the ball, did he?
No, they both players just attacked the footy. It was a great commitment encouraged by both players. Certainly what Glenelg needed was to slow the game down, and this gives them the opportunity to regroup out there now and try to get some things happening. As we can see, Ricky McGowan working out what he's going to do there now. He'd be pretty happy with the opening term, though.
Yeah, he'd have to be happy with that because their intensity at the football's been good. They've had Chambers up there. They've had Sharples, who reads a nice crumb. They've had some good lead-up players. Thompson's got ball in the midfield. Unfortunately, this man who's now being taken from the field, Luke Crane, has been really dangerous. Could have kicked a couple of goals in the first quarter. So they really have been on top of their game. They are kicking sodas maybe with a slight breeze to the right of screen there. Ben Nelson won the toss and kicked that way. So just on that breeze, is it more sort of going across, or is it slightly still favouring the end in which the Double Blues are kicking?
Yeah, you're right, Michael. Look, it is swirling a little bit and going across the ground, but if there is any advantage whatsoever, it's probably slightly Sturt's way. But look, it's not significant in terms of favouring either end, but the Blues do have that advantage at the moment, and they've certainly used it well.
Well, I forgot what happened last. I think the ball's out of bounds somewhere, isn't it? And will be thrown back in. There's Luke Crane. Look, gee, that's pretty tough on the young man. We saw Adam Thompson the last time we did a Sturt game get stretchered off in a big hip and shoulder against these two teams. Brett Backwell, the man dishing out the hip and shoulder, and Thompson was stretchered off and didn't return. Let's hope that Luke Crane is able to get himself together in the rooms and get up with that smelling salts in his nostrils and hopefully clear his head and come back.
Old time, the old smelling salts.
Old smelling salts.
I think he's certainly going to need a few minutes to gain his breath again. There's no doubt about that. But Sturt, they'll be wanting to start, get straight back where they left it. They've been playing great at this first quarter.
15 points the margin. Double Blues lead it, and it's in their forward pocket. Here's Allen trying to break a tackle. And now towards the line, Backwell and Weatherald. So Allen, who started on the bench, and so did Weatherald. They're both on the ground for their respective sides. Timmy Weatherald collected a pretty good trifecta in 2002, winning the Magarey Medal, the premiership with the Double Blues, and also the best and fairest. And here's the fellow Magarey medalist that year in Sheedy, working a 1-2 with Gum, and then Sheedy just pops it up, and the Luca coming late was McConnell. So they've decided to move McConnell down the ground.
I don't think that's a bad option. He's certainly a player that can ignite Glenelg, and he does some pretty special things from time to time. Not a bad option. Put him down back and let him try to run and use his footy skills.
Well, somehow it came over the back. Thompson, now Rudolph, taken to ground as he kicked. He was slung. It's over in the other forward pocket now. Evans leading the chase, and Benny Moore just pushes him over the line. Ben Moore rested last week, the veteran there running through screen. He is in his last season. He's declared this will be it, and he's playing in his first final for the Bays since the mid-90s. A long time between drinks for the Bays. In fact, only one survivor of their 1999 finals team, and that's Paul Sherwood, the fullback.
Seller just tried to get the handball over the top. Fisher taken by Sheedy. Good smother. That's terrific work by Seller. You've got to be happy with the work that James Seller's doing at the moment. He's really throwing himself at the contest.
Yes, he's been good early. If that's one area you could be critical in the past of James, is his work rate at football like this, the smother, the hard stuff. That's fantastic by the young man, and he's had a good first quarter.
Yeah, he has. DeLuca, I thought, might have got the tap away. Evans just went to ground a little bit too easy. Now he's over the footy, and umpire Tony Day just crosses the arms and says, give it to me, we'll have a ball up. Mark Micken, Stephen Rowe there, watching on closely. Good, solid contest. Cranston got the tap away, but this is the way that Sturt's going to block it all up for Glenelg. They know that Glenelg can move the ball quickly. They like the free running footy, and Sturt are just manning up and just closing the game down a little bit, even though they have that lead at the moment that's out to 15 points. Ball going nowhere. Marnie's in there, so too Whiteman. Marnie finally fished it out to that man called Fisher. Over to Hinge. Hinge with a high left footer, getting back Avery, can't take the mark and can't keep it in. Boundary throw in. Bit of scrappy football. Crane taken off at around the 18-minute mark of this term, and a sickening head clash with Tristan Gum. There's Simon Feast with a regular ruck change. Fabian DeLuca is on.
So it's at half forward for the Bays, and again the ruckman tussle, and Whiteman takes it for Sturt. He's pulled down a couple of players hanging off him. One of them was Murphy, number 23 there. He'll get up. Not surprisingly, Whiteman already got a bit of blood on the elbow, and the umpire spotted that, but he's happy. No, he's not. It's flowing apparently. So Andrew Whiteman will have to go off the ground with a blood rule.
While that change has been made, Glenelg have also opted to give Tom Holmes a run, Mark Ruwald off. We mentioned Holmes just at the start when he was sitting on the bench, 16 touches and a goal last week, and he streamed out of the centre in that third quarter and hit McConnell a couple of times on the chest with some great passes. So keep an eye on the number 38 for Glenelg.
Mattner tried to come over the top, third man in, didn't quite get there. Now a bump by Weatherald on the big man Smith, and then he's thumped into the ground, and that's by Douglas, and it'll be a free kick, I think, for Sturt, because he was over the line. A couple of Sturt players remonstrating with Richie Douglas. One on the umpire, 25 metres now against Kane. So Double Blues getting the best of that encounter, and behind play,
Evans.
Backwell's been put down by Evans, so it'll come back, it'll be reversed, and Backwell will take the free kick.
And Ricky McGowan in front of us is absolutely not happy with that at all.
So Brett Backwell taking the free kick for Glenelg. 23.5 minutes, opening term. Hinge leads up, takes a nice mark. Sharples want to get back. Gee, he looked like he's well over the mark with Sharples, and now Seller leads up and takes the mark. Let's have a look behind play, and just off the ball there we saw Evans running into Backwell.
Sturt should have been having a shot there, but instead Backwell gets the kick. Now we've got James Seller going back. Normally a very good kick at goal.
11-4 for the season, just his 8th game of league football for the season. A lot of hopes for this guy, a former Australian volleyballer. And he lines it up from just inside 50, and it travels away to the right. And they are goalless after 24 minutes, the Tigers.
Certainly need one late in this quarter just to keep in touch with Sturt, who have dominated this first quarter.
Chig, you wouldn't be surprised to know that Ricky McGowan's pulled out the cane, whacked it around Evans's neck. He's off the ground.
Deservedly so, I think.
Those little things you come to reflect on in finals football. Smith taken to the line by Feast, and a boundary throw in. They're little things, but they add up. Like you said, Sturt could have been having a shot for goal. Instead, Seller was having a shot for goal. It's the little things. And in a game like today, with the weather as it is, game of inches, here's Douglas, who's responsible for that scuffle initially, and the kick is taken by James McClay. McClay has some runners on the grandstand side. One of them's Hurst. Can't take the mark. Moore was there off the ground. Whiteman, intelligent play. He's got to deal with Murphy, but he'll do that okay. But Murphy gave away the free kick too high on Whiteman. He had his eye on the football, and this guy will never shirk an issue. Was off for the blood rule a moment ago. Byron Murphy, the man dishing out the punishment. He's a tough nut too, Byron Murphy. He won't take a backward step. Whiteman's kick to a crowded pack. Sheedy at the front, couldn't take the mark. Over the back, Hurst. Here's an opportunity for the double blues, and he nails it. He read it well, Evan Hurst. Ran into the open goal and boots his 6th for the season. He doesn't kick too many, but Sturt are out to 20 points with some smart footy.
Again, it was unnecessary from Murphy there, giving away that free kick. Hurst, just plenty of space there, running over the back of the pack. The ball came over the top, ran into an open goal and finished off well. Certainly hurt Glenelg that one with that late goal. Sturt, important that they get their confidence up. Their form hasn't been great coming into the finals, but they'll be pretty confident after this first quarter.
I suspect, Chris Kendall, as we just watched the ball coming out of the middle through Nelson, that's Hurst's first possession of the afternoon. And it is. He gives me the thumbs up, and that was in the back. He had good position, did Chambers, but he pushed Rudolph, who hasn't recovered all that well. I think he may have got one on the way through from another player. And Rudolph is struggling. Looks like he's a knee problem. Just let's have a look.
Well, on the shin or something, I think, which can be a bit painful from time to time, but hopefully it's not too bad for Glenelg's point of view.
This will be a big blow because Rudolph, of course, has done such a good job. Did a good job down at the Bay when we last saw him play against Chambers, and he's just struggling a bit with that knee or shin. And Sherwood, the veteran, will take the free kick. Sherwood, who came from Morningside in the Queensland competition to play with the Bays. And Morningside playing in a preliminary final tomorrow, actually, against Southport in the QAFL. That was a shanked kick, and now another opportunity for the double blues. Weatherall finds his way to his feet, and the umpire says, I'll have it. So 20 points the margin, 27.5 minutes gone. Let's have another look at the incident with Rudolph. Gee, it looked innocuous in some ways. Ball from that stoppage going out of bounds, and Rudolph is coming off the ground just to the left of pitcher at the moment, so Sodas will keep an eye on it, but I'd suggest that's rather serious, really. He just doesn't look like he's comfortable at all on that right leg.
That's a big blow, as you said, Neil. He's going to throw the balance a bit in the Glenelg backline now.
Here's Gum, and that player just got across him, Douglas, to partially smother the ball and force the kick wide. Gee, that was good work by Bentley, getting the ball out to Douglas, and Rudolph is big time in trouble, you would think.
The inside of his knee there too. I don't know whether it's too difficult to tell from that angle whether it's an impact injury or a bit of a strain. Murphy's at half back, told to play on and short, and the kick was pretty precise to Mules, who wanted to go to backball by hand. Running forward is Hinge. Haven't been able to get their running game going. Hinge kicks long. Seller went a bit early. Flicks over the back. Whiteman got his kick away, and that was intelligent play. Found Mackner, as he does, arches the back and kicks it long. Who's he kicked it to? Looking for Thompson. Sugars is there, and also McConnell. McConnell with quick hands. Back to Sugars. Fisher. Back away to McConnell, but he just lost a handle on it. Fisher comes back in. The tackle is from O'Keefe. He's over the footy. Was he trying to get rid of it? And sometimes I think the fans get confused with what they see in the AFL and what they see in the SANFL.
There we see Sam Rudolph getting checked out by Mark Cesana, the Glenelg doctor there. It looks like a twist or something nearly, doesn't it? I think it doesn't look like it's an impact, but doesn't look good.
I think it happened even before the collision with Sherwood, so Paul Sherwood would know it, but he's not responsible. Here's Walk, tried to push off one and tried to push off. I thought he might have been pinged for pushing off high, but instead he got the high contact, so Walk will take the free kick. Oh, Feast is running free. He's got lots of space in front of him. He opts to go for Chambers. They all fall back in front of Chambers. Ball to the front. Hinge was good. Taken to ground and buffeted hard. Gee, was hit hard. Sharples was around him. And then the big bump came in. I think it might have been Nelson. And they're remonstrating again, the Bays.
Glenelg's kick. 24.
And it's 25. You heard the umpire there. We'll see how it happened. He was pinned. And it was the little man Weatherall jumping up and maybe collecting him with the forearm.
Oh, a little bit careful there, Timmy.
Well, I don't know, it was too deliberate. Anyway, here's Sherwood. They're trying to run. Sherwood forced to leave the handball go. Avery, brilliant pickup. Slipped the hand pass away. Backwell and Gum collide.
Matner and Mules are having a real old stoush off, just off shot. Really having a crack at each other. They've gone their separate ways now. Boundary throw in. 30.5 minutes gone through the stretcher case with Luke Crane. Mark Soderstrom hopefully be able to give us a report on what's happening with Luke Crane a little later on. Cranston to ground. Fisher. Backwell. Oh, that's crude by Button. That's a second bad free kick that Button's given away in this game. Hasn't resulted in goals. At least he gave it away on the wing. Here it is.
Yeah, he did duck a bit as well, Backwell, to probably make it worse, but pretty crude.
Fisher's got it, and it's quarter time.
And so at quarter time, Double Blues have definitely had the best of the opening term here at the Adelaide Oval. In the elimination final, it's Sturt 3-5-23. They lead the Bays, who failed to score a goal in the opening quarter. And 21 points the margin in favour of the Double Blues. Here's the second term underway with Michael Maney.
Second term of the elimination final. A 21-point lead to the Double Blues after a good first term. They beat it 3-5 to just the 2 behinds, and Glenelg had an opportunity, had a couple of opportunities in that second term, but weren't able to capitalise. Sugars and also Seller missing goals. They'll kick with a slight breeze in this term, Glenelg. Moore working hard. And Sturt have been able to close this game down and play a real man-on-man football. And let's go to Mark Soderstrom with a report from quarter-time. Mark.
A couple of injury concerns, Michael. We saw Tristan Gum collide heads there with Luke Crane. Crane's had a couple of stitches. He wasn't knocked out, a little bit groggy, so they expect that he will return. For Glenelg, Sam Rudolph just with his knee there. Bit of a concern with the medial ligament. They've strapped that up. He's on the sidelines at the moment, just testing that out, so not quite sure yet whether he will return.
Thanks, Mark. Evan Hurst, who kicked a goal at the 25-minute mark of the first quarter, steers a lovely kick, looking for a man in DeLuca, but couldn't take the mark, just spilt it. Fisher, back, Kirk, needs to use his skipper in Mules, to Marnie. Gee, we haven't called Josh Marnie too much. Sugars just clears the area with a real barrel to the wing. Moore just gets in and under. Moore probably goes to ground a little bit too easily, but it's that sort of a game, isn't it, Chiggy, where you want players in and under. Marnie's just had 1 kick and 3 handballs, so a quiet start to Josh Marnie.
Yeah, he certainly needs to get into the game. I see that throwing Ty Allen in around there to try to get a bit of hardness in around the football, which I think is a good move.
Yeah, good idea. Marnie running with the flight of the footy, couldn't take the mark, and a free kick will go to Evans. He gave away a couple in the first quarter, and he gets one himself. Just on the wing. Evans has got a couple lining up in the centre. Not a good kick. Weatherall under siege from Fisher. Held on a long time in the tackle. And now a ball up. And he's a bit angry today, Tim Weatherall.
He is. He's fired up for the final. Hit the footy there. Could have been a bit unlucky not to get the free. Fisher did hang on to that tackle for a fair while.
Weatherall, the most experienced player on the ground. 253rd game this afternoon. Matner wrapped up. Inside the centre square, slightly to Sturt's end of the ground. Simon Feast has had a hamstring problem and was off at half-time in round 23 against North Adelaide. In that match, Sturt led by 50 points at one stage and lost. Cost them the double chance. And now we'll get another ball up. And just while on that, Chiggy, Sturt, 18 of the 23 rounds, they're in the top 3.
They've had a great year. Would have been very disappointed with the last month not missing out on that double chance. It certainly looked like they're back in pretty good form now.
Another stoppage coming, you'd think. Fisher over the ball.
Thanks.
Kirk gets up, you might see there, just holding his head briefly. Sturt. One win and 4 losses in finals since the 2002 Premiership, and 1 win only and 5 losses in elimination finals as a club. And we'll get another stoppage. And Chris Kendall, you got the leading stat winners in that opening term.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. For Sturt, Sheedy leading with 10, Feast 7, Gum and McLeay 4 apiece for the Bays. Backwell, Fisher, Hems all on 6, Douglas on 5. Interestingly, Glenelg 28 kicks, 34 handballs.
Yeah, that's a worry. Flicking out the back is Evans. Got to come back. Evans has kicked a long goal, but it won't count. And a 25-metre penalty for that. And he just booted the ball away. And gee, Evans has done some interesting things today. You can't knock his attack on the footy, and he probably just needs to have a little think about it. Fisher goes out wide to Hinge. Hinge can't take the mark. Brilliant play by Gum. Ruwald couldn't get it. Hinge back in again. McLeay's got him. Feeding out the handball was Evans to Bentley. Bentley, Whiteman hits a brick wall. Gee, they're going in hard at the moment. Ruwald got it back out. Seller, he's gone. Sheedy, wonderful tackle. And the tackling so far in this game has been magnificent. Let's have another look at this one.
Seller playing a lot of reserves football, just didn't get the pace of the league game.
Just not the awareness there. Bentley's got a free against Mules on the wing. Bentley kept it low. Oh, just made it. Thompson, bit slippery, through his fingers. Douglas to Backwell. Backwell's kick, looking for Marnie. Marnie takes the mark. Couple of kicks out from goal. He's got Rudolph. He's back on the ground. He's running like a spring chicken. Sammy Rudolph. We know he loves to kick a goal. He lines them up and goes for home and kicks a goal. What a brilliant goal by Sam Rudolph, who snuck off on the interchange benchmark zone from while nobody was looking.
Just about to let you know, Michael, he's got up. They gave him a tick of approval and he came over to the bench and snuck on there for Holmes. You just have a look here. Marnie, good vision, good voice from Rudolph too. And we saw him do this against Port Adelaide to tie a game. A long goal from around 50, and that is a super kick.
So much needed for Glenelg there, but we see Marnie getting a few touches in the last couple of minutes, getting into the game, which certainly helped, provided the opportunity for Rudolph, and finished off with the goal.
Just his third of the season, the defender running. Back in the middle, Backwell forced it out. Allen, the hard man, out to Fisher, and then Kirk wanted the right foot. Nice delivery in front of Mules. Got a bit of space to work with. Kane's flanking him, Will Shepherd. And he didn't shepherd effectively. Nicely done by Gum. Forces the throw in, gets the applause of the fans.
Excellent smother there again. Just stopping the player, about to get into Glenelg's forward line again. We see Rudolph has stayed up forward, playing across half forward there, and they've left Smith on Chambers at this stage.
Ball just flipped forward for the Double Blues. Allen was over it. Kirk couldn't get a handle on it. Ben Moore taken to ground. Comes out for Ruwalt, maybe got one high. Weatherall, the angry ant, was in there, and so was Fisher. And DeLuca just taking a rest on the boundary line. Chiggy, Glenelg, good history in elimination finals. 5 wins, 2 losses. Every time they win one, they get to a grand final and lose.
Well, they've got a bit of work to do today, but they're starting to work a bit harder around the packs, you can see anyway, and starting to get some footy to pop out. They need to get the players, get it out, let the players run with it. That's when Glenelg look best. Sturt will be liking this stoppage play at the moment.
Mark Micken always calm in the box. They think he's had a good year as a coach. Mark Micken, 1 win in the first 6 games, and they find themselves in the elimination final and comfortably made the finals.
He certainly has. He's done well. He's got a great team there with Stephen Rowe and Peter Caven as well, and the boys. So worked well after a very, very shabby start.
Umpire Gary Fielder gives a free kick to Simon Feastman. Daniel Kirk thought he should have got a free kick for holding on. Feast with a handball to Whiteman. Whiteman kicks long. Up they go. A couple of base players knock it away. Kirk goes for another thump. Here's Chambers barging through. Did he give it off legally? He did. Well done by Sherwood. Backwell's got a problem, but Sherwood's going to get the free kick. Advantage rule is paid. Went to Backwell. Across to Marnie, as you said, Chiggy, and there's a bit of yap going on back here against Brant Chambers for a bit of chirp back there. So Brant Chambers has had plenty to say. It's a 50-metre penalty too, and I tell you what, I'd like to buy some real estate in North Adelaide from that umpire.
That must have been 2, sure.
Had to be 2. That's a 100-metre dash.
I think it was 50 from where the ball was rather than where Chambers offended.
Marnie's kick to a nest of Double Blues. Flicks over the back. No one can get clean possession of it. Rudolph's there. Just knocks it toward the line. Plenty of desperation in there. Handball comes out. It ends up with Avery. Avery, his kick is well marked by Sugars. Geez, growing in stature, this young man. Sugars, short kick, and spots up Kane. Kane's not as much of the ball as he usually does, with the kick's good to Allen, who cocked one on the left ear, and there'll be a 25-metre penalty. That's against Chambers again, is it? He's wandered down there to give away a 25.
It's a pretty soft 25, that one, though, I think. Chambers going with the ball, might have been a bit of contact there, but we'll have a look at it here. Yeah, I think Ty Allen fairly lucky to get that. Still might be just out of his distance, though. Not a really long kick, Ty Allen.
What about the good old days when they were made to earn them?
Oh, absolutely.
Here's Ty Allen from 47. Good-looking kick. It won't quite get the journey. Thumped through by Feast for a behind. And Allen just not quite getting the elevation he needed.
No, but Glenelg starting to get a bit of football at least. Now they're running the footy, getting a couple of opportunities to have a ping at goal. But need to kick the goals at this stage, not the points.
McLeay drops it in short for Avery. Comes this side of the ground looking for walk perhaps. Fisher came across, didn't know what was coming and went for the punch.
Glenelg still lacking options up forward. I do like Rudolph up there. Gives them a bit of an option. He's a very versatile, agile player. Kirkby's the one player that's got to come into the game and take some grabs.
Now, Ruwald's running free out of this pack, and his direct opponent, I think, in Nelson, ended up with the ball, got it to Whiteman on the bounce, couldn't handle it. Douglas took a look, Whiteman came back in, took the ball, umpire says I'll have it. It's inside the centre square, and you start to feel that the momentum is shifting towards Glenelg. They've kicked 1-1 for the quarter, margin back to 14 points in favour of Sturt. Trapped in there under a series of bodies. Allen, I think, will be the last one up with the pill.
He's done pretty well, Ty Allen, since going into the centre from the start of this quarter. He just is a scrapper. He's in there, bottom of the pack's working hard, which where Sturt were beating Glenelg convincingly in the first quarter.
Evans to Bentley, and Bentley just puts it inside 50. The Double Blues had numbers around the ball here. Gum tries to release it, just was dragged down. Ruwald did well, and the kick was just inside, according to the boundary umpire who was on the spot. Fisher with the mark, and back behind play there is a Double Blue down inside the centre square. Kirkby leads up, big shepherd he gets, and Kirkby delivers, and now another free kick down the ground.
Geez, the umpires are hot today. They're certainly going to stop everything. Bentley seems to be down. I didn't see what happened behind play.
And Rudolph with the big lead, and almost a look at another goal. It bounced off his chest, and Bentley is still down behind play and slowly getting back to his feet, as you can see there. Nick Swingler, the chief trainer there for Sturt, just consulting, and perhaps decided he's okay to resume. Sheedy in the pack. Nelson trying to force his way through, was taken to ground. Get up. Gee, that was a tough tackle from Marnie. Didn't miss him.
Yes, pinned him beautifully, because he's a strong man, Nelson.
Feast down to Sheedy. Whiteman wants the line. That was pretty deliberate. And the umpire said, yep, no other intention, Andrew Whiteman, than to go to the line. And Bentley's going to have a spell. And guess who's got it? Justin McConnell.
He's going straight at the
Yeah, he
He's
would have
right
ran.
there.
He would have ran very quickly to get. Oh no, it's Backwell.
Oh, it's Backwell. It is too. Backwell kicks close to the line. It fades away. Mark's taken by Avery, so no score. Avery's quick kick is taken by Matner. Martin Matner qualified for the SANFL finals with not too many games, I must say, but he just got there.
One, in fact, Michael, just the one.
Of course, a bit of consternation around the traps. Sheedy. That's a nice mark, Whiteman. Flicked it away to Sharples. Initial fumble. That's finals football for you. He'll learn. He's back in after it. Could have won a free kick. Taken to the line. Fisher, hard at the footy. Over the back, Backwell. Boy, oh boy, they're having a go, these two teams. In goes Douglas, fumble. Matner back in after the footy again. Whiteman at the foot of it. Matner got it back. Gee, Sheedy knocked off the kick. Holmes, gee, they are going for it on the outer side of the ground. And Kane just can't release the ball. And umpire Rouston says, have a break, boys.
He's probably holding the pill there nearly, because he got held, the arm got pinned there, and there's nothing he could do, but you would say that's pretty much holding the footy. Glenelg probably getting a pretty good run by the umpires at the minute.
Well, thanks for that, Chingy, because I thought it was just me. Colin Rouston's picked up a couple of, well, just 25 metre. You said the Chambers one was nothing much in it. And then I thought Kane for sure was gone there for holding the ball. So we put the ball up on centre wing. And they force it forward. Backwell's in space. He got the double tap, and then he goes across to Kirkby, who wanted his left foot, and that's the reason he hand passed. And now it's come back to Kirkby on his left. Fumble, stumble. Oh, he had an opportunity. Play on. The clay comes away for the double Blues. Sheedy can go short to Sharples, who did well that time. Grabbed the ball. They've got one running through the middle, Thompson, but he won't go there. Down the line he goes. Double Blues keeping it simple. Gum over the back. Knocks it out of bounds.
That's where that hand pass by Kirkby, missing the body.
Luke Crane standing on the boundary line. This is why. This is what happened in the opening quarter. Bang. And it was friendly fire from Tristan Gum, as you see there. Head clash. A cut opened up on Luke Crane's head. And now that's in the back, says Colin Ralston, and a free kick to the Bays. Kane will get up and take it. He tries to play on quickly. Delivery wasn't the best, was it? It's in open space, and Weatherall's hunting it down. He goes to ground. Ball now open space again. And it's all ever so briefly. Now it's come back for Evans. Well done by Feast. Evans' kick was smothered. Evans follows up. Clash of bodies. Douglas over it. Fed out the hand pass. Sherwood goes forward with the hand pass, and Allen receives inside 50 with a kick. Oh, and coming late, beautiful punch away by Button, and Rudolph is down. And the Bays fans feel as if that should have been a free kick as well. Ball still in play. That was high. Umpires picked it out. Free kick to the Bays. No complaints with this one.
No, I think that one was certainly there. A bit untidy. Some of the tackling has been a bit scrappy today. But there's been a lot of it. The boys are going hard at the footy. It's a great game of the footy at the moment. They're certainly hitting in hard. But Tommy Holmes had a great game last week in his first game. Pretty important kick, this one for Glenelg, and Sammy Rudolph's had a pretty tough day in the office too so far.
Yes, too.
Holmes, 16 possessions, 5 marks, 1 goal, 1, and hit the post, I think it was, from this sort of distance last week in his debut game, and he's happy with that kick. And they have their second of the match, the second of the quarter for the Bays, and they're grinding away, and they get a little bit closer.
There was some really good work through the middle of the field there. Rudolph was probably a bit stiff there. He caught one high. McConnell, a clever player, just keeps it in. Provides an opportunity, creates something out of nothing. And there was a bit of a sloppy tackle there. And Tommy Holmes, he's a good young player. He's certainly got a lot of potential. And a really important goal for Glenelg.
Nice kick by Holmes. 23 plays 15, 8 points the difference. Whiteman, who's been in everything today. Sheedy got under the kick. Sugars has been all right against O'Keefe. Sharples, oh, has he got some magic? Sharples. Kick didn't go to Weatherall the way he wanted it. Gum. Short kick, spearing kick, looking for Chambers. Chambers has got to use Evans. Now Evans has had his kick smothered a couple of times. Smith, wonderful tackle. Wonderful tackle, Jeff Smith. I'll tell you what, this bloke is doing all the right things, getting to the business end of the year.
That was great work, because he had to actually mind Chambers as well at the same time, but then attacked it, and he did a really good job. I like him back. I reckon he plays better back than he does forward.
Here's Evans again. He'll have another crack at it. Wobbly old kick toward the line. Sharples is there. Don't discount this young man. And Smith's got him. Well, Sharples tries to keep it in, but the boundary umpire says, Charlie, bring it back.
He looks dangerous when he gets it, doesn't it? You love these Aboriginal kids when they're around the footy up forward. They're just so exciting, and he looks like he can do something special out there.
Be a few clubs having just a little bo peep at number 58 this afternoon. Don't you worry about that. Gum does the ruck work. Sharples again, mown down by Mules. And we'll have another stoppage.
Benny Mules, he certainly makes you earn your ball there, and that was a good hard tackle.
Sharples just booted it out of the air, kicked a great goal, kicking it out of the air like that last week. Chambers wanted a claim for in the back. Sharples goes in. Umpire will call for the ball. It's in Sturt's forward line. And they lead by 8 points. So does.
We saw Greg Bentley leave the field a little earlier looking groggy. He has returned and he's okay.
Here's Whiteman off a step, and he's kicked a goal. Double Blues get that margin back to 14 points, their first goal of the quarter, and it's taken 18 minutes.
He's having a good game, Whiteman. He's working hard. Just what you'd expect from the skipper there, but Glenelg just let him sit off the back of the pack there. Benny Moore should have moved forward to put a bit of pressure on him there. Whiteman read it well. Sturt get it out the back, and he finishes off with a good goal, but just not enough pressure around the pack there.
He's a real sharpshooter, Andrew Whiteman. 2 straight for the year. Doesn't go forward too much, but when he does, he's capable of kicking a goal. Back out to 14 points in favour of the Double Blues. The first goal we've seen this afternoon kicked to left of screen. Whiteman in after it again, and another stoppage. Just like the way they're going about it at the moment, the Double Blues. They've been able to defend pretty well when Glenelg have gone forward, and they've been able to kick a goal when they get deep into attack. Whiteman took it out of the ruck. Got it on the boot, so he's doing everything at the moment. Holmes, who kicked the last goal for the Bays. Crane's back on, which is great to see. Holmes got it to Hinge. Hinge's kick looking for Moore. Moore's got to stand up here and kicks down the line and just finds touch. Couldn't get enough screw back on it to get it toward Backwell or Seller. That man there, but it is a boundary throw-in.
Good work by Ben Moore. Tested his hammy out there. Had a bit of a sore hammy, that's why he missed last week, but it certainly looks fine now, getting that ball down low.
Seller got it down. Hurst just roved it nicely to Matner, who's got a kick with his right boot. Sugars in front. O'Keefe there. Both had hold of the jumper. Cranston got the arms free. Mules came racing through. Murphy's handball's chopped off beautifully by Gum. Gum just belts it forward, and did it find touch? I think it might have done a boundary throw-in as Angus Kurtz takes a spell and Thompson returns to the fray.
Into time on in this second term. I think it'd be a pretty short term. The first one was only extended by virtue of the fact that Crane was carried off the ground. Whiteman at the base of the pack, and they let it go, and then eventually we get a ball up. Crane with the headband on there, and there's the Glenelg bench. Alan Fisher and Kirk taking a rest. And another stoppage will be forthcoming here. About 55 metres out from the Double Blues goal. 4-5 plays 2-3 in favour of Sturt. DeLuca slapped it down. Hinge over the head. Just the distance, I would have thought. Only just. Matner with the mark. Looks and waits. If he goes quick and long, he might get Chambers, but he takes his time. Now he's got to go centre field to Hurst. Hurst has got one short. It was Bentley, but he never got there. Just belts it inside 50. Hinge in trouble. A loose hand pass coming out that time from Sherwood, and still it's in dispute. Cranston trying to get to his feet. He's surrounded. Moore trying to get the kick away, and fresh aired. Double Blues trying hard. Umpire, is he going to pick one out? He does.
It's very similar to the one at the other end with Ben Kane, you'd say, wouldn't it? It certainly was a free, but so was the one of Ben Kane. Could just pin the arm, nothing he could do with it there.
It's exactly the same.
Moore with the free kick, goes wide for Murphy. Stop-start game now. Murphy takes his time and can go short to the lead up from Kirkby, who just made it in front of those Victor Richardson gates here at the Adelaide Oval. That's the picture down the ground with Kirkby about to kick the ball, and he's led up from centre half forward, so there's just nobody there for the bailout option, you'd think, for the Bays. He's forced to kick it high and long. Cranston in the middle of the pack, and so was DeLuca, and he flew nicely.
Great grab. He's a big man, DeLuca, mobile man, and that was a great grab. Kept the eyes on it. Beautiful over the top of the pack.
Just growing in stature all the time, Fabian DeLuca. There's a horrible kick out of bounds on the full.
And you wonder about that hand pass straight to Evans, running to the boundary on his wrong side.
Yep. Yes, not smart footy. Sometimes these ruckmen just have to go with it and kick the ball. Holmes on the outer side. Goes in short and finds Marnie, who's getting most of his kicks wide. They need to get it back in the corridor. They're going wide. They're forced wide at the moment, Chiggy.
Very stop-start too. It's not like Glenelg. They like to run it and get it in quickly. especially with a smaller forward line. They need to try to break it open here.
Kane. Scott Sherwood, who's run back. Sherwood pumps it long. Where's McConnell over the back? No mark to DeLuca this time. Well played by Evans. McLeay back to Evans. Good work by the Double Blues as they work it out, but the kick's poor, and Sugars has taken the mark and has a couple of options in short and goes to the wrong one. He had a nest of Glenelg players there, but Walk just said thank very much. Poor use of the football, and that is hurting them at the moment as well. 24 gone. They trail by 14 points. Walk decides on the switch back to McLeay. McLeay's been a stout defender for them this season. Over to Bentley. Bentley's kick was good. That's the difference. Thompson to Crane. Crane couldn't take the mark, but he's got some pace. Holmes mows him down. Good chase. Ball close to the line and gets there. And some claim it was out of bounds on the full. It was. A couple of changes down there, Mark.
Plenty of changes going on. In fact, Josh Marnie having a spell. Also Cranston coming back on. Fisher, and also for Sturt, Jade Sheedy, the skipper, on the deck.
So the Sturt coaching bench realised he was probably out on the full, but they didn't think it was a Glenelg free kick. Here's Kirk. His outlet was Sugars. Had to take it wide. He's got Backwell. Running for him, Sherwood. Sherwood, dangerous bounce. Bentley meets him. Knocked out towards Backwell. Hurst has got him. Released it. Ruwald over it. Taken down as well. Double Blues defensively doing very hard yards there.
Indecision is killing them at the moment.
Well, at least they were trying to run there. It's just the skills weren't there to hit the body, but that's when they play their best. Back themselves in and run. Sturt haven't let them do that so far.
Backwell backed himself there through the pack, and he got it forward, but siren went, and at half-time in the elimination final, it's Sturt 4-5-29, Glenelg 2-3-15, a 14-point margin at half-time, and the Double Blues lead this one. We're going to have a look now at the VFL and the WAFL. They're in their finals as well. Here's our report from Angela Pibos.
Sandringham took on North Ballarat in semi-final 1 in the VFL, and both teams were fired up early. Matthew Campbell was busy, kicking 2 goals and setting up another, but the Zebras looked in good touch and went into quarter time leading by 13. Nick Sautner put Sandringham further ahead to start the second before North Ballarat tore the game apart in an inspired period in which they put on 8 goals to 1. The Roosters were brilliant, and Callum Urch providing a strong target up forward, a pair of late majors seeing his side up by 23 at the half. Sautner gave Sandringham a sniff when he goaled early in the last, but the Roosters weren't to be outdone, booting the next 3 to lead by 30. The Zebras did post the last 2 majors, but it was all academic by that stage. Gerard Fitzgerald's men putting a shaky start to the season behind them to storm into the preliminary finals. North Ballarat ending Sandringham's dream of a 4th consecutive premiership, the Zebras going out in straight sets despite finishing on top of the ladder after the home and away season. A preliminary final match-up with Williamstown was on offer as Port Melbourne took on Coburg in the second semi, and after the Borough landed the first blow, it was all the Tigers. Andrew Cracker and Nat Caruso brilliant as they put on the next 5 to lead by 22 at the first change. Both teams lost their way in the third, turnovers and missed shots costing dearly. David Pitt among the worst offenders as he kicked his 5th straight point of the match. There were no problems with accuracy in the last, Coburg putting on a clinic as they kicked a remarkable 9 goals for the quarter to blow Port away. Cracker was again inspirational.
Cracker somehow got his foot to the ball. Oh, what's another miraculous goal!
Port Melbourne's brave finals campaign coming to an end at the hands of a ruthless Coburg outfit. Separated only by percentage after the home and away season, East Perth raced out of the blocks in their semi-final against South Fremantle in the Waffle, booting 3 of the first 4. But things quickly turned sour for the Royals, with Frank Agostino stretchered off the ground and the Bulldogs finding their feet to get within 7 at the first change. Goals to Paul Duffield and Ryan Murphy had the Bulldogs out by 2, but late majors to East Perth saw the margin back to just 3 points at the main break. The third term was a one-sided affair, the Dogs taking hold of the game with 6 goals to none. Jared Wilkie was in good touch up front, as was Chris Miller, while East Perth simply couldn't hold Murphy, who was unstoppable. The Dogs were barking at the start of the fourth, while nothing was going right for East Perth. Paul Magumbwa put through his third and Toby McGrath his first, and when Murphy bagged another, it was getting ugly for the Royals. The Bulldogs running out 49-point winners to send a warning to the remaining finalists. An even performance up front for the Dogs, 3 players contributing 3 goals apiece. In the second semi-final, minor premiers Claremont proved too good for Subiaco, Chad Jones starring with 6 goals for the Tigers, while Brad Smith's 5 were not enough to see his side get over the line.
All the finals footy is on ABC TV, and in the elimination final in the SANFL this afternoon, it's Sturt by 14 points at half-time. The weather's improving. Let's see how the second half develops with Michael Maney.
Should be an interesting second half. Glenelg with all the work to do. First goal important in this third term. Thompson tries to get the arms free. Backwell, busy as usual. Scoots away. He's got the short sleeve Guernsey on in the second half. Here's a chance for McConnell. Walk did pretty well. Handball was just about chopped off. Kirkby hasn't done too much. He may kick a goal here. Ball was touched. In goes Rudolph. No mark. Bentley can clear. Handball needed to be precise. Well done. Evans has got it. Tries to get around. Button got it to him. Sheedy. Button's kick smothered. Chance for more. What a start to the third term. It's all going on, and umpire Tony Day will ball it up.
There's no tomorrow for the loser of this game, and you can sort of see that great smother there. I think it was Adam Fisher coming in from the side there.
Here he is again. Knocked off the kick. You just think the Bays need the first goal, Chicky. They really do need the first goal of this third term, because it's pretty much been all the double blues in the first half.
Certainly do, and it has been shown in this game that it's hard to kick goals going to the left of screen.
Allen, desperate, back to Backwell, does some fancy footwork. Handball wasn't good. Whiteman went without it. That's unusual today because he's been so sure. And Fisher with a tackle and another ball up. Well, gee, important in a final, you make the most of your opportunities. Glenelg have it close to their forward 50. Another stoppage. There's been plenty of those coming up. Feast to Button. Away to Sheedy. Sheedy from half back will spear it to the wing and find Weatherall.
Weatherall has got a couple of runners through the middle, but they're not really free. He's decided to go for one in Evans. Ball sat up. Umpire said he marked it before it was punched away by Douglas. Bentley will have to surrender it. Take their time again. It's stop-start football to begin the second half. Most of the players from Glenelg flooding forward. Evans goes wide. Good mark by Walk. He's stretching McConnell. Now he goes inside 50 long. Kurtz is down there for the double blues to help out this man Chambers on the snap. I don't think it's come back far enough.
No, he just missed that one. Again, looking dangerous. Didn't have a lot of opportunities in that second quarter. Chambers. See Ricky McGowan looking a bit concerned there, but Sturt still controlling the footy pretty well at this stage.
Yeah, some of the leading possession getters for that quarter, boys. Sheedy 16 for Sturt, Whiteman 11, Feast and Matten 8 apiece. For the Bays, Backwell 14, Fisher 11, Hinge 10.
A little mistake there by the Bay defence, but Kane's good enough to get it to Backwell. Backwell uses Allen, back to Backwell, all running out of... Oh, well done, brilliant steal by Thompson. He's 40 metres out and closing and misses. Oh, he had a golden opportunity to put some enormous pressure on the Bays, and this is just smart from Thompson.
Smart from Thompson, not so smart from Backwell. He's made a couple of silly errors with his decision-making today, Backwell, I think.
Bayes intent on running, it would seem, to try and open up this game. Sugars chips inside. Fisher can go wide for Hinge. Instead, he goes by hand. After Smith, takes his time, Allen. Allen's closed down, wanted to play on, got around a little bit too easily. It was touch, so it'll be play on, ball to ground. Nelson busts through the pack. And the Blues skipper sends the hand pass wide. Whiteman gets a great shepherd coming in there from Weatherall. Can't make the most of it. They dive back in. The players were desperate then, weren't they? Gee, Timmy Weatherall played a big shepherd then. Well, for Tim Weatherall, it was a big shepherd.
He's had a real dip today, Tim. He's been good for Sturt, I think it was. Just gave a bit of time there. Whiteman, that was good work.
Nelson just couldn't slip the hand pass out. Fisher did. Off to Moore. Long kick inside 50. Walk goes back. Couldn't get a hand on it. Kirkby now trapped the ball in and will get a ball up 25 out from the Glenelg goal. They trail by 16 points.
Bays need McConnell to get in amongst it. He's had under 5 possessions as a tall for a small. Button. Handball away. Matner opens it up for Sheedy, but the handball just sells him into trouble with the pirouette, and the blind turn was brilliant. Taken by Bentley. Bentley's kick, looking for Sharples, and he just lost sight of the footy as Mules got it to Sugars. So the turnover on the rebound. Holmes wants to get it to Backwell. Backwell some work to do. Back to Holmes. He's normally good by foot, but this is a worm burner to Rudolph. Rudolph caught. No free kick. Marnie was there. Throwing himself forward was Nelson. And a ball up. Boy, oh boy, it's a hot footy out there at the moment. And it'll be a ball up. And the Tigers. There's a passionate fan.
Boys, neither team's taken a mark in their attacking 50 since the first quarter.
Gee, that's a big stat, Chris. Walk. Uses Thompson back to Walk. The kick away. Taken by Sugars. Got hinged. Don't know whether he'll use him. Sherwood's drifted down, but he goes to Holmes, who's made some space. About 3 kicks from goal. Umpire saying come back on the mark, Charlie Sharples. He does so. He's on the mark, the number 58. Couple of youngsters. Holmes, bit undecided. Sturt pushed numbers back. And he's got to go short. Ball crashed away. Sharples grabbed it out the footy by Mules, and he'll get a free kick.
Got a sense there, Sharples just kept the ball in front of him, not taking possession, knew he was going to be hit. Mules delivered. Sharples now taking his time, chips it short. Evans goes to his left foot straight away and turns it over to Fisher on centre wing. Fisher looks up, inboard. He's got Moore and Allen. Allen pushes off. He wants to run. This side of the ground, Smith is running. You can see what's on the Bay's minds, but at the moment, Double Blues are managing to shut them down. He goes wide. Matner did well. And now Avery. And now Matner on his left. Gives a hand pass away to Weatherall. Then Matner kept it in front of him. And then he laid a beautiful tackle on Allen. So the Bay's hard man pulled down. And you've got to say about Marty Matner, he might have questionable vision on occasions with his decision-making, but he sticks a tackle. Okay, taking the ball out of the ruck, holding the ball. Nelson pinched.
That's it right there.
Douglas, who's been fairly quiet this afternoon. Coming up for his 4th kick. He's had 5 handballs. So, as I said, fairly quiet. Goes long. Feast will come across the front. And umpire will pay the mark in front. So Feast, chance to square it. There's a couple of Double Blues back behind the ball, but he opts against that as we just watch the marking contest again. Feast taking his time, eventually forced to kick down the line. Ball to ground, not quite. Fisher roved it well, was pulled off the kick, out of bounds, centre wing. What a struggle. 16 points in favour of Sturt. We're approaching the 8-minute mark of the 3rd term.
A bit like end-to-end in the schoolyard at the moment, isn't it? Just out on that outer wing. So Sturt just slowing it down pretty well. Glenelg trying to break free and get some run going.
Yeah, Sturt are really forcing Glenelg wide. Fisher's kick was touched, doesn't matter. Whiteman, head down, backside up. Bentley in for assistance. Rudolph's there. Tries to take the footy with him. Ball caught underneath. And another ball up. Amazing. There's the Tiger supporters. One on the text messaging there. texting a score in. Mark Micken worried about that stuff. I think Kirkby's going to get a free kick in that ruck contest.
We've played a lot of those out of the ruck contest today for both sides. A bit of hanging on going on in there, and the umpires are pretty hot on it.
Free kicks 2014 Glenelg's way.
2014 in favour of the Bays. They haven't taken advantage of it. Kirkby, long way from goal. You can see what he's got in front of him. Everyone manned up, so he pushes off. Kicks it high. At the back is Backwell. Sellers in there. Feast couldn't take the mark. Had a good run at it. And then handballed it into the congestion and another stoppage. 9 minutes gone, third term. 16 points the difference in favour of the Double Blues.
See, when Glenelg are trying to move forward, that there's not a lot of options. James Seller needs to try to create a bit of a target for them to go to.
Here's Allen. Around the body. He's missed.
Another option there, maybe even throwing Big Kirk up forward. He's not bad when they put him forward. He's a big man, he can lead. Give him an option up forward. There's no targets there at the moment.
Double Blues preparing to bring the ball in. Walk to do the job.
Let's go.
And he goes long. Gee, that's good carry. Way outside 50. Kirkby, though, in front, takes the chest mark. He'll want to move it faster than last time, you'd fancy. He goes centre field, first up to Fisher. Fisher, prolific ball winner. Averaging 22, almost 23 disposals a game. There's Adam Fisher, he goes long and direct. It'll carry the pack. No, it won't. Gee, Walk's done well this afternoon. Been very good on McConnell. And then he gives it away. Commentators curse straight away. Here's Cranston. He chips short. Holmes takes his time.
It's been pretty good today, Holmes.
He takes his time. He thought about going wide, and instead now forced to play on, chips it short, turns it over. Button slipped into the hole that time. Buttonhole, you might say. Chips it short. Sharples. Good gather in the end. Tries to break a tackle and lost it, and the umpires pinged him. Well, this will break it up.
It's like pulling teeth at the moment, isn't it, again? Yeah, tried to break through 2 or 3 there. In the end, Richard Douglas brings him down. But it's Marnie having a shot at goal.
Well, I fancy it was Marnie who actually really knocked the ball away, and then Douglas came in afterwards. So Marnie, who we know is usually a very reliable kick at goal. 14-6 going into this match for the season. Lots and lots of experience. Will retire from football at the end of this season. And he's kicked truly. It's taken more than 11 minutes, but we have finally a goal in the second half.
Certainly a real arm wrestle out there at the moment, as we can see there. Trying to break through young Sharples. He's been pretty good and exciting player to watch. But Marnie good enough in the end to kick the goal. It's certainly hard work for Glenelg at the moment, though. They have to work just to get it forward, and there's not a lot of options up there. And we see Marnie, not one of the big forwards, kicking that goal for Glenelg, as we see the ruck change there with Feast coming under the lead going up.
Been pretty good, Feast. Went into the game, I suppose, under a little injury cloud, but has rucked manfully and taken marks around the ground. It's back to 9 points. First goal for Josh Marnie. Fisher, you just sensed that Glenelg got a sniff here at the moment. Cranston working hard. DeLuca tackled. Gee, David versus Goliath there. Allen and DeLuca. Ball caught underneath, and Fisher is underneath that pack. Boy, oh boy, has he stepped it up in this third term. Scratching of the head from Rick McGowan. Holding. Ben Moore slips out the back door. It's got to go back to Cranston. You think that he might give it to Moore. Lurking is Douglas. Douglas tries to get around Weatherall, then back to Cranston, and finally the big fellow has to kick it, and he does. A wobbly old ball, and Whiteman thought he might have been away, but he just pulls back to take the kick. 13 minutes gone, third term, 9 points the difference in favour of the Double Blues. They've led for all of this game. Glenelg have not led in the game. Whiteman's kick carries the pack over the back. Sherwood needs to be sure. Good tackle by DeLuca. Kurtz. Gee, they work it well. Gums gets it to Weatherall. Weatherall on his left, sits it up. Smith and Chambers, and Smith did pretty well to negotiate that one. And Chambers complains to the umpire, but he's not having much luck today because he's given away a couple of 50s and 25s, and he's booted a couple of goals. He's just getting on the lip a little bit too much, you'd think.
A little bit frustrated. Not a great delivery in there by Weatherald either. Just in long and hard. Puts a bit of pressure on Glenelg defence, but not lace out.
Allen lost it. Bentley. Lovely little hand pass. Weatherall taken to ground. Wait on the umpire. No, that's okay, apparently. But he was holding the ball then for sure.
You would have thought the way they've played it today. Certainly held onto the footy, pulled it back in.
So another stop play, this time inside the Sturt 50. So the game just migrates from end to end. Kane did well, kept it in front. Now he can use his pace. Didn't use his skills very well. He set a task up, and now they've turned it over. Sheedy goes wide. Matner comes inside, finds a little bit of space, sets it up. Smith buffets Chambers out of the way. Oh, it fell into the hands of Thompson, and now Chambers to open goal. 3 for Chambers. Double Blues stretched that margin again out to 15 points.
And again, Glenelg just overdoing the hand pass. You can see what they're trying to do to get the run happening, but they have made some bad decisions with their hand passing, putting themselves under pressure. See, they just lobbed over the back there. The ball comes out, Chambers running into an easy goal. Certainly wouldn't be happy with that.
Inside 57 for Glenelg to play this quarter.
Brad Chambers, 3 goals, 109 for the season. Booted 6 last week. In the centre, can Glenelg reply? They've struggled to kick goals. Button did well. To Whiteman, who's been outstanding. Just clears the deck, looking for Gum. He's outnumbered, but he did all right. Back in after it again was Sharples. He'll get a free kick himself for being held on this time. Or will he? That might go against him for holding the ball. It's a couple of times in the last 5 or 6 minutes he's been pinged. Sugars gets the free kick to Kane. Ben Kane, his output today, not as prolific as other games. Just 5 kicks and 3 handballs. He's normally up around the 17, 18 by now. Just pulls the kick and finds Hinge. I think they need to throw him onto the ball, Hinge. He's really a good player. And he's found the big fellow in Cranston who's being forced to kick. What do you think about Hinge into the middle?
I think they did do that one time during the year down the bay, put Hinge on the footy, and he got plenty of it, and he's good and strong in around the footy. I think it's a good call, Mark. Worth a try. They need to try something on there.
Douglas got the kick smothered and it went out of bounds. I just think that need a bit of class in there. Someone to run the lines, and there's a bit of sunscreen on there for Daniel Kirk.
See McConnell sitting on the bench as well. I think he's only had a couple of touches all day. Glenelg to win, I think he needs to get back on and provide a spark up forward.
He's the type of player that can do that, though. The Bay's pushing forward, a rolling scrum. Douglas in there, hard after the footy. And another ball up. Umpire Feeler says, give it to me.
Yeah, Justin McConnell, just 2 disposals today. 1 kick, 1 handball.
Michael, you're right about McConnell just being able to do it and turn it on. Last time these sides met a couple of weeks ago, 3 goals in that 3rd term to spark an 8-goal term for Glenelg.
Sturt wicket from the back, and Sheedy's kick goes wide. They'll throw it in, a half-back left for the Double Blues. Interesting, Chig, as we just watched this, Sturt claiming maybe a push. Maybe.
It was probably a bit of a push. I think it was acted very well too, but...
So Sharples, just a quick kick out of there. Fisher was behind the play, gave it to Moore, who said, thanks a lot. At my age, I can't afford this to happen too often. So off the play, it's on, and somebody's been reported. Umpire Alston has out the book, and it had started before he ever looked up, and I fancy it was payback and Backwell or Crane. Which of the number 2s is it? It's... Well, I'm a little bit confused by that. I think he's putting Backwell's name in the book.
Someone's reported, but we don't know which one it is.
He got the free kick.
No, Backwell's got the free, so you would have thought he got reported.
You think it's Crane who's been reported? But they were, I did, out of the corner of my eye, I saw them struggling before that, and then a Double Blue took off, I assume after Backwell. And I assume umpire Ralston saw something. Watch the corner of frame on our replay. That's how they went to ground. And the incident, I think, happened after that. Backwell goes short meanwhile, towards the 50. Douglas, class player. And he drops it in short, and you'd think that might have been a free kick to Ruwal. He's been thumped this afternoon. That'll be a free kick. Whiteman just caught, and Ruwal, the hard man, another one for the Bays, just ran him down.
Yes, certainly Whiteman has been fantastic today. Just didn't see Rewalt coming from behind, but he's provided plenty of run out of their defence. He's been great. Not an easy kick for Rewalt here. He's going to be kicking from just inside the 50 into that bit of a breeze.
Came to the Bays from their prolific zone down in the southeast from South Gambia. The 2005 reserves best and fairest at the Bay.
Of course, he bagged 3 against Sturt a couple of weeks back too.
And he's missed this one. Has he? No. Well, yes, he has. It's come back. Gee, that breeze doing some funny things to the football.
Certainly does, and Glenelg need to be kicking those goals at this stage. You can certainly can't get away with getting away with the points. Here we go. Beautiful kicking style. Here's the old goal cam. You can see just missing.
Ooh.
Oh,
it was on its way back. Just on its way back, but had too much on it. 14 points the difference. Kirk. Good tackling by Thompson. Kirk got one high in that exchange, but you wouldn't pay that as a free kick. He's the last man to get up. 20 minutes gone in the third term.
I think Glenelg really need to get one more in this last quarter to give them a real chance going, in this third quarter going into the last quarter.
Kane belts it long, but out into the bleachers. Out of bounds on the full. They need to find a way to kick a goal. And they just haven't been able to do, apart from the goal to Josh Marnie. Mark Micken looks on. Starting to get a little bit worrying at this stage. They haven't been able to string any number of goals together. They've only booted 3 for the game. High ball. A couple of double blues went too early, and Turek Hansen just stood back and took the mark. Fed it back to Kane. Kane, we know, can kick long. Kicks high, hoping for a mark. Oh, someone's taken. I think it's Rudolph. In the middle of that pack. Oh, he was keen to go on too, Sam Rudolph. Wants to go into the pocket with a short kick and finds Marnie. Now, this is where Marnie, with his AFL experience, can do something. Let's have a look at the mark from Sammy Rudolph.
Oh, nice grab. Got a bit of a leap there. Coming from the side, actually. So
Whiteman.
Marnie was a bit of a step ladder too there, I think. Now he's getting to have a ping at goals, though.
I thought he had a step, and then he's got up from the bottom of the pack and ran off and then got this kick.
What a wonderful shot of this we've got with Josh Marnie. He's got to use the breeze, and he brings it back. Intelligent from a player who will be very sad to miss when he retires from footy. He's given us some terrific moments, Josh Marnie, but they just get that little bit closer.
Very much needed goal, as we said, late in this third quarter. Marnie hadn't had a heap of the football today, but a couple of very telling touches this quarter, kicking a couple of goals. Keeping Glenelg within striking range of Sturt. He's been a great player for the Power as well as Glenelg. When he goes back to Glenelg, he fits into the team well. He's just a great bloke.
Yes, experience in the AFL with the Bulldogs, Collingwood, Port Adelaide, and he spent some time in Essendon in their reserves, and he's going to finish, it looks like, just a few games short of 100 in the AFL. Here's Crane breaking away. Got one. Did he get one high? No. Mules came at him. Still had possession, the double blues. High to full forward. Smith tries to get to the front. Feast fumbled. Cranston recovered. Moore tried to get it out. Was that high? Yes, it was. Sherwood will take the free kick. Sugars, and now he shares it wide for Kane. Lots of pace. Gum shuts him down. No, he doesn't. Kane gets around to centre wing. Great kick. Hinge should take it. No, he doesn't. Under pressure from Matner. Matner will take it towards the line. Scoops it up, is tackled straight away. We'll get a ball. No, we'll get a throw in.
3 Crows players there featuring in that little exchange.
Bit of waxing by the boys.
Yes.
When the ball came out of the centre there, it went towards McConnell and he just fumbled it. He looks out of touch today.
Ruwald in tight, surrounded by double blue Guernseys. Talk about trying to get the ball forward for the Bays. You wonder, Rudolph has struggled since he's gone, and because of that, he had to go forward. Smith has gone to Feast, which has sort of robbed them of a target inside 50. The Bays, so we watch Sturt trying to take it down the ground. Weatherall buffeted over the line by Douglas. We get another ball in.
Sturt have been lucky. Gregory is out of the side. They're full back for most of the year, but that Mattner to come back in. So it's a bit breezy. Our crew, just it'd be pretty chilly up there too. They've all wrapped up in the gear. It's a bit breezy at the Adelaide Oval today. Marnie's quick hands, and McConnell didn't even bend, just wanted to go off the ground. That's the sort of day he's having. Ruwalt says, I'm going to track the footy and try and get it out. McConnell doesn't get interested in it. Here comes Fisher. Fisher from 40. Could kick a goal. It wobbles, but brilliant play on the line. That was sensational football. I think it might have been Evans or Button. I think it was Button who did some grand work right on the line.
Very poor kick by Fisher, though. He had time running into an open goal. Certainly should have done better than that.
Only 3 goals in the quarter, so you wouldn't imagine there's any more than a minute or 2 left in the term. And Sturt get it out of defensive 50 wide, and coming across the back with the one hand was beautifully done by Kirkby. And now Kirkby will want to move it quick, and again he's just caught. While we're looking at the replay, he's dropped it short to Cranston. Lovely mark by Kirkby. Now Cranston gets it off to McConnell. He's got a round Feast. No, he didn't. The veteran pulled him down. Now Sturt are away. O'Keefe, they're charging forward. He goes for Thompson. Thompson, can he break Mules? No, he can't. Ball's out though. Double Blues have still got it in a bit of space, have they? No, Smith fighting on. Gets one high play. Will stop. And Jeff Smith will take the free kick. Meanwhile, the Bays have got the ball all the way forward. It'll come back. Let's have a look at Simon Feast. Those old legs pumping hard.
He's just having a day not to remember, McConnell, at this stage. Feast has worked well. He's had a great year too, Feast. He's been a real catalyst for Sturt.
The other thing about this is it's close. He could come on and do something. That's the thing. If they're within range, he could come on and do something. That's the thing he's got up his sleeve.
Smith goes for Sherwood. Too much carry, but he had plenty of time. Now he comes to the grandstand side of the ground, puts it in front of Sugars. Crane tried to shut him down. Awkward kick to half forward. Marnie gathers well, looks inboard, shouldn't have hand passed it. Douglas was caught. Now Kirk, he was caught as well. Comes back O'Keefe, shared it with Nelson. Went wide for Sheedy. Sheedy around the corner. Contested mark coming up here. Sharples had the ball knocked away by Moore. Back inside forward, 50 for the Bays. Marnie, great vision. Oh, it just carried too far for Kirkby. Still it's in play though. Kirkby remembers a left footer. And he just couldn't stretch down for it. Walk came through. Got the hand pass before he got nabbed. And now it's in open space again for the Double Blues. They get down towards Gum. Ball knocked away from him by the veteran Sherwood. And Sherwood taken over the line. Enterprising bit of play. Started to open up, didn't it?
Has certainly opened up a bit this quarter. It's still tight and hard in there, but we are seeing a lot more open play. The Bays achieving to get the ball out a bit more, achieving that run that they've been trying to get for a while.
Ruckman can't get the finger on it, but then Feast got it back. Thought he was held 3/4 time. And the Bays are within 7 points. They trailed at 14. It's tight enough. Mark Micken knows it. If we're good enough, we can win. I'm sure he's saying that. There's John Hinge. And 3/4 time in the elimination final. Sturt 5-7-37, Glenelg 4-6-30. How'd you see that third term, Chiggy?
Well, Glenelg had a lot of the football there, and they did run it pretty well. I think they opened it up like they were trying to do, but again, probably didn't make the most of it. Had it got it inside their 50 quite a few times. Inside 50s now, Glenelg 25 to Sturt 24. So they certainly dominated that in that area, but still lacking a real good target up forward, I think. McConnell is looking very ordinary at this stage. He's the sort of player that can look fantastic or he can look terrible, and at this stage he's looking terrible. But as we mentioned in the call there, he could come on this last quarter and spark it, win the game for you. He's certainly worth persisting with at this stage, but he needs to get his work rate up. I think we're set for a great last quarter. Sturt certainly won't be giving up here. Whiteman's been fantastic, I think. Feast has worked hard, and he's been very good. We're set for a very good last quarter.
Sturt's led all day, but the margins are creeping down. 21 points at quarter time, 14 at the half, and now at 3/4 time, the margin is 7 points in favour of the Double Blues. Here's Michael Maney to start the final quarter.
Final term in the elimination final. The Bays trail by 7 points. Important ball out of the centre. And we'll have another ball up. It has been a bit like this all day, Nick Chigwidden. Plenty of stoppages.
You imagine it's going to be very hot for this first 5 minutes. Players will be diving in hard. The first goal is critical.
Here's Douglas, stepping up the pace. He'll need to do that. High ball. Feast couldn't take the mark. Avery just fed it out wide. Sheedy runs onto the football. Chased by Moore. Can't catch him. Sheedy with a long kick. It'll roll out of bounds. Mark Soderstrom, how's that breeze? Has it switched around a bit? I just get the feeling that maybe Sturt are kicking with a slight breeze in the last term.
Michael, got to say, spent a little bit of time out there at three-quarter time just trying to work out exactly the way it's going, and it has turned around. Remember the start of the game, Sturt kicked with it. They won the toss to the right. Now it is turning around a little bit to the left. Very swirly, though, but a slight advantage to Sturt.
Gum, not 15. It went up 15, down 15, so technically it did go 15. Taken by Douglas, and he finds Kirkby. Chiggy, this man needs to step up in the final term. Rory Kirkby. And his kick is good and finds Marnie on the wing. Josh Marnie booted 2 goals in that third term. And 2 very, very good goals, just judging the breeze well. And he's got no one to kick to at the moment because Sturt's game today has been man up at all costs. They have not allowed Glenelg that free run, and that just causes the ball to be kicked out of bounds by Marnie, and Kirkby couldn't haul it in. They've done that so well today, the Double Blues.
They certainly have. They've been very disciplined with it. They've been a disciplined team all year, Sturt, but around stoppages, manning up, they're fantastic at doing that, making it really hard for Glenelg to get any run going.
Feast slaps it for Sheedy, taken to ground, another stoppage. DeLuca taking his seat on the bench, and Kurtz and Sharples, the other 2 there. So they've gone for the 2 big men on the bench, and a blood rule as Crane making his way off the ground. You suspect that that head knock that he took in the opening term, and remember that he was carried off, is maybe the reason that he's having to come off the ground. Chris, just run us through some stat gatherers while we watch this action take place.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. For Sturt, Sheedy 24 leading on the ground, at Whiteman 14, Feast 13 for the Bays, at Fisher 22, 11 in that third term, Backwell 21, Sugars 14.
Yeah, Fisher really did step it up in that third term. You could see that he was trying to stamp his mark on this game. Ball in dispute, another stoppage. And Simon Feast in there complaining about the fact that there wasn't a free kick to the Double Blues, and there's the patch-up job coming from Luke Crane, who really got crunched by his own teammate Tristan Gum and stretched it off, and good to see him back on. Allen, crowd said ball, flicks over the back to the dangerous Marnie. Marnie couldn't get the handball away. Well done, Button. Then Button was all over Marnie. No free kick. Button in after it again. Good play by Button. He really has had a real go this afternoon, Luke Button, and he's probably been one of their stout defenders back there. And in a final, you find out who wants to have a dip. And he's certainly been one that has. A lot of players around the footy. Feast can't get it clear. Fisher tries to wrench it from him. And another ball up, 3.5 minutes gone. No score in the final term. Double Blues by 7 points. Time not a factor at the moment. Plenty of time for Glenelg to make a run. Here's good play by Bentley, who got fed the handball. Bentley bounce. Goodness me. Wouldn't come back up for him. Good tackle by Allen. Advantage rule paid, goes to Hinge. Hinge goes to McConnell. Now McConnell's going to get a kick away here. And where will it go? It goes to a man, but he can't take the mark. Ruwald, free kick will go to Walk, who copped it high in that exchange. And Nick Walk will get the free for the Double Blues.
Sturt crowd seem pretty happy with that too, I think.
I think umpire Colin Rouston has been harassed by the Sturt crowd this afternoon. He finally gave a free kick, and now Sturt's turned it over. Here's Ruwald. Could have gone over the top for Rudolph. Instead, he went along to the goal square. Here's Douglas, and he has missed. Geez, such anticipation then.
It's bread and butter for Richie Douglas normally, those. It's pretty tricky out there with that breeze, I think. Glenelg getting it in their forward line once again, making it hard work though.
It's the closest they've been for a long, long time. I think the closest they've been since about the 9 or 11 minute mark. So they've been pressing. Bentley should take the mark. Wanted to go on with play. Does so now. Has a runner on the wing. Peels the kick off nicely. McClay Found some space, then kicked down the line. O'Keefe couldn't take it. Sherwood was the man with the punch, and a boundary throw in. 5 minutes gone in the elimination final. Mothballs, as they say. Nick Chigwidden, if you don't get over the line today.
You'd imagine you'll see some desperate footy in this last quarter here. Going to be tight all quarter. Richie Douglas coming into the game now.
No doubt about that. Allen, who's been solid all day. Cranston, Fisher, another possession for him. Down the line, Kirkby really starting to work hard up the ground, Rory Kirkby. This is his game. Get up the ground, get on the lead. And then when you get close enough to goal, kick them. And the short pass is marked by Rudolph. And a couple of Sturt players on the ground have run into each other. Not the first time that's happened today. Away goes Moore. He can't get around the Sheedy tackle. He just tried for a little bit too much. And the advantage rule is played as we have a quick look at this one.
Sheedy with a great tackle. Double Blues move it into the centre square. Hurst decides to go long for Gum on the lead up. Dropped the mark, had support, decided to use the left leg, missed Sharples, got Feast. Feast was taken straight away. It's at centre half forward for the Double Blues. Stoppage after stoppage after stoppage. Feast, the third man up, coming across for the Bays. And nicely done by Gum, and behind play a free kick has been given against Walk. And it will go to Ruwalt.
And it's not 25.
And Ruwalt can come this side of the ground, short to Kane, and he's opted instead for a wobbly old kick and turned it over to Crane, who just couldn't take it out of bounds. Who's going to snap? And so does, as we look at Charlie Sharples walking the boundary. Down to you.
You can confirm that the report earlier was Luke Crane for striking Backwell. There's a little scuffle, and then apparently a little jab was spotted by Colin Ralston.
Here's Rudolph, who spotted the ball. McClay read it early, got in front of Sellers. Oh, they've got numbers on the far side running. One of them was Evans. He's got the long striding Sheedy. He drops it in short for the left footer. O'Keefe, who looks and waits and then goes long, and out comes the big guy, Chambers. One grab was all he needed.
Great running play by Sturt there. It all started, I think, James Seller down the other end, got caught behind. Hasn't given much all day, James, and Sturt just ran it from their defence right down, leading hard. That's how Chambers loves it and does it so well, and has done all year.
Well, Sugar's tried to push back and put himself in front of Chambers. Surprising carry on the kick, as Mark Soderstrom suggested. There is the breeze favouring that end, and as Chiggy just said, James Seller has not offered much this afternoon, and he won't offer much from the bench. Chambers leans back and kicks a goal.
Yeah, that certainly makes it hard for Glenelg in this low-scoring game. Again, we said earlier that he's going to be the main man to watch, Chambers. He's certainly done his job today, kicked 4 goals. Leads beautifully. You can see, yes, Sugar's pushing back in there, which is a bit of a hard thing to do when you know Chambers is charging out like that. Beautiful, strong hands. And I think that's a good move. Seller off and Kirk going forward. The big man in Kirk can kick a goal and provide a target that Glenelg have lacked all day.
Sturt's first mark in their attacking 50 since the first quarter.
And what a time to take it. Brad Chambers has kicked 4-2-26. Sturt have kicked 5-7-37. It's a pretty good effort by the big boy, and he's done so well. Backwell down to Fisher. Bays need another goal, and they need it right now. Kirkby starting to get some feel of the football. Dishes off to Backwell. Backwell needs to find a target. Decides to kick it high. He's got a target. Rudolph's there. Douglas there. Rudolph off the ground to goal. All clear, says the umpire. And Sam Rudolph gets his second. And that's been a smart move by Micken to put him back there, because Smith, although Chambers has kicked 4, I think Smith's done a pretty good job. He only kicked 2 on him, hasn't he?
Smith, I think, yeah. Glenelg getting the run, the quick movement, that's what they got to do. Sammy Rudolph just got his foot to that one, but it has been a good move by Micken, putting him up forward there. Big contest over the back. Rick McGowan won't be happy with that. You've always got to bring the footy forward, sneaks over the back and allowing Glenelg just to tab it through for a goal.
Tigers have trailed all afternoon. Important to remember, Sturt were run down in round 23 by North Adelaide. They'd led by 50 points. And North Adelaide managed to get up and win and claim the double chance. And don't forget, that's coming up later, that qualifying final between the Eagles and North Adelaide. Out of the middle, Matt along for Gum. No, it was through his hands now. Mules, steady, beautiful pass by the skipper. Fisher to McConnell, gave it up. Allen, now McConnell, dropped it short. Kirkby, oh, he looked like he was grabbed before he'd even run for the ball. And that looked like he dropped the ball. Did Bentley. It's inside 50 for the Bays. Button didn't like what he saw this side, so he went to the far side. Thompson's running for him. Hinge comes. Thompson will have to keep it tight. It squirts out and O'Keefe joins him. O'Keefe released the hand pass, had to, he was tackled. Whiteman was brilliant. Now they're working through their hands. Whiteman again. Gave it back to Thompson. Centre half forward was Gum. Gum looks around. Crane's loose inside 50. Crane can go over the top. He does. Goal coming up for the Double Blues. Chambers gets his 5th of the afternoon, and it's starting to open up this game, Chiggy.
It certainly is. Both teams running hard with the footy. Bit of a give me one there for Chambers. Crane over the top there. Good run by Sturt again. Glenelg just a little bit loose. Tired players, though. They've been working hard at the bottom of the pack, both teams. Crane, smart little kick. Gave Chambers another goal. That's his 5th. Certainly been very handy up forward for the Double Blues.
What a comeback by Crane, you'd have to say. Out on a stretcher, and then had the presence of mind to chip it over the top and measure it to Chambers. He could have blazed away. 12 points the difference. 2 straight kicks. Glenelg were able to answer the Chambers goal a moment ago. McConnell starting to get some football. They'd be happy about that in the Bay camp. Kirkby also really has lifted his work rate. Backwell's had plenty of the football. Kirkby told to play on. Goes long. They need a mark. Kirk can't take it. Over the back. Rudolph. He's been the X factor. He kicks looking for Douglas. It might bounce through. It has bounced through for a goal. Sammy Rudolph's got 3. Whatever you can do, Brad Chambers. Sammy Rudolph. He's going to try at the other end.
It's been such a tight game all day, and now it's turning into a bit of a shootout. It's a great game of footy here. Again, Kirk provided a target there. Sammy Rudolph just got it on the boot. Got a good bounce there too. It certainly helped. Got the off break there. A great move by Mark Micken putting Sammy Rudolph up forward. Glenelg need to get the next goal though. It's been going goal for goal at the moment. They need to get it to make the scores level.
Since half-time, inside 50s, Glenelg's way 18-9.
Yes, 6 points now, the margin. It's been waxing and waning. 6-12, 6-12. Centre break via Feast. Gave it out for Matner, back to Feast. Nicely slipped to Bentley. Bentley inside 50. It's gone over the back. Sherwood read it best. Overran it. Now they're in trouble. Gum taking the ground. Still play on. Gum's over it. And it's stuck under Gum.
A point here even is going to be very handy for Sturt.
3rd man up. They get it. Allen gave it away quickly. Mule's vision was good. So was Hinge off the Backwell. McGarry medalist wheels around. Didn't like what he saw. Went to the far side of the ground just for space and perhaps the line in front of Fisher and Sheedy.
They're still going wide. A forced wide. They've been forced wide most of the day.
Rick McGowan there.
Looking a little bit tense, Rick. You'd say in his first final as a coach.
About time he cracked.
He's done a fantastic job with this Sturt outfit this year.
Both he and Mark Micken. Very understated characters in the way they go about their coaching. So ball on centre wing. Cranston to Backwell, and then Ruwalt, and then to half forward Long. Marnie couldn't get it away from Whiteman. Whiteman stays over him and stays on his feet. Now he's tackled, and it still slips forward. Marnie did well, got back to his feet. Handball was loose. Feast and Ruwalt go at it, and Whiteman was in there as well.
It's going to be pretty hot footy out there at the moment.
There's Tommy Holmes having a bit of a look at the game plan, and this is what you need to do, son, when you get on. Can he do it? Kirkby got the knockdown and another stoppage. Sam Rudolph's there. Gee, since they've patched his knee up, he's been a star. Just needed a challenge, Sam Rudolph. Play me on one leg just for a change, and I think I can do something. Out of the congestion, Douglas has Hinge, decides to load up. Inside 50, up goes Kirkby. McConnell was hovering as well. Kirkby's been the man. He's the one they're going to lift from as well. Up forward, Kirkby just sets it up, and it might turn okay. No, ball knocked away. Backwell. They fought over it. Taken by Evans. Evans punches the long kick to the wing. Mules knocks it away. He sharples. He's got the footy. Will they catch him? He drills to Chambers. Oh, lights out if you don't mind. Charlie Sharples. Oh, that was just brilliant football by the young man.
Beautiful skills. Again, not a lot Smith could do there. Beautiful skill running footy from Sturt again. Opened up this game, as we've said, it was tight all game. Now Chambers lining up for his 6th goal, leading hard, beautifully put in front of him. Not a thing Smith could do. A great view from here to see if Chambers puts through his 6th.
This is where Sturt have been outstanding. He's had a lot of his kicks from this sort of angle this year. Chambers hoists it high, bends it back. He's got 6. 2 goals the difference. And Brad Chambers has worded free in this final term.
Again, here we see the ball moving through the midfield there. Good punch from Mills. Sharples, though, just out on his own. Plenty of time to balance. Smith right with the big man there, but there's nothing he could do. Beautifully taken on the chest, goes back and slots his 6. He's had a great day. Certainly been the difference between the two teams at this stage.
Chambers has 21 goals against Glenelg this season in 4 matches. Still time in this one too. This is an important takeaway because every time Sturt's kicked a goal in this quarter, the Bays have been able to take the centre break and answer quickly. Wide the kick goes. Whiteman knocks it away from Backwell, out of bounds 70, 80 metres around from the Bays goal. Rick McGowan laying down the law for Sturt in the box there. Luke Norman, I should say, in front, and behind him the, well, almost premiership captain in Threadgold. Here's Seller breaking forward, does well. Heard the call from Backwell, was taken across the line by Nelson. Ben Nelson, the Sturt captain, and McGowan, I think, was saying, well, there was another stoppage and they weren't in the right place.
I think he's saying, let me out there. I want to do something about it myself.
Inside Glenelg's 50. DeLuca took a risk. Salah with a fresh air. Well done by Whiteman to the skipper. Nelson high to centre wing. Gum in front. And a brilliant mark. Brilliantly done by Mules, the skipper of the Bays. He'll send them back into their forward line.
Ben Mules has been quite outstanding off half-back. You've got to admire his game. He's led from the front, hasn't he?
He certainly has. You don't see, he doesn't make a big fuss about it. He just does his job every week.
And he finds Holmes.
Another guy who's been good today for Glenelg, I think.
Has been. For a young player. Normally uses the footy pretty well. This time he goes high. Good mark. DeLuca behind the play. Walks running for him. He's got to navigate. Marnie. He dropped the footy. No free kick. Umpire threw the whistle away. Nick Chigwin goes for the heart tablets and says, oh, the blood pressure. Give me one for the blood pressure as well.
That had to be on the ball, didn't it? He's played on, got tackled. It's the footy.
I think he might have just punched out a little handball. Might have saved him. Over the top, McConnell kicked off the ground by Backwell. Is it behind? Oh, that would have been a miracle goal from Backwell. Smart, quick thinking, and that's the sort of player he is.
Certainly is. He hasn't had his biggest day, I wouldn't have thought, Brett Backwell, but getting a couple of nice little touches now. It's 10 kicks, 16 handballs. I suppose not a bad day from Brett, but we do have high expectations of him.
Ball in, and again DeLuca takes a lovely mark. So they have a chance to settle the double blues. Approaching time on in the final term. He goes wide. O'Keefe hasn't seen much of the ball this afternoon. Come into it in the second half. He drops the ball short for Weatherall, a veteran of the 02 Premiership. Takes his time. And he's thinking about maybe milking some of the clock. Now he's forced to go short and dangerously so. O'Keefe, the man who gave it to him. Now Nelson. And now Big DeLuca pulls the kick. And unsuccessfully gets it to Kirkby. The runner was Mules. Mules is tackled by Button. Just released it in time. You reckon the Bay fans would have been happy with a free kick for holding the ball then? Here's Smith. He backs up. Takes his time. Now he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. And he just gets the hand pass away. Holmes to Smith. Goes down the line. Walker posed to the experienced Moore, who does his own roving and is stopped dead in his tracks. And so was Douglas. The double blues crowd in, well done by Nelson. Shielded the ball, Matner. Found some space for the hand pass to Walker, now Weatherall. Leading back is Chambers, and then he comes forward and Weatherall puts it in front of him. Chambers looks around, waits. Gum, backing from here, he's a class player, and he lets me down. That kick by Tristan Gum, well done by Hinge. Knocked the ball away. Tigers should get out of trouble here.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Jeff Smith was on the treadmill there. He had Chambers was out on his own, and the ball's gone out of bounds. And is it out of bounds deliberately? No. Crane wanted deliberate. Let's have a look. Fisher the man, and that might be deliberate every day of the week. Nick Chigwin is the way you look at me. You think guilty look on your face. A pushing infringement, and it'll go to Kirk in the ruck. And I tell you what, Simon Feast is not happy about it. But Jeff Smith just a moment ago, he'd had enough.
Yeah, he certainly had a tough day on Chambers, especially in this last quarter. He's stepped up, Chambers, and I think Smithy's taking some deep breaths there.
Sucking them in, as they say. Long kick to the line. Is out of bounds on the full. Free kick will be taken by Button. Button told to play on. Now he's got to get around and drop the ball out of his hand and then lost it. Poor play by Button. Feast tries to mop it up. In goes Marnie. Had a teammate over the top of him. Flicks out to Douglas. Douglas uses McConnell. McConnell will kick inside 50 and look for more. It's a free kick downfield. And that just slowed it down. McConnell was off. But a free kick's gone downfield to the former skipper in Ben Moore as Daniel Kirk takes a spell and Trevor Cranston comes back on sodas. That's a ruck change. Looks
like Big Trev might carry things home for the next few minutes as the veteran Benny Moore, keeping in mind if the Bays go down, this will be his last game of football. So Benny Moore kicking to not only keep the Bays alive, but to kick his career alive.
Let's have a look at the hamstrings. How are they? He bends it back with experience, Ben Moore. And they are as close as they've ever been in this game. 5 points the difference as the former skipper may be playing his last game. Let's have a look at this at the top of frame. Wonderful Shepherd, and then cop one. And that's the free kick downfield, Chiggy.
That was certainly there. Ricky McGowan wouldn't be happy with that. Probably not a lot in it, but they've been hot on those all day, the umpires. Benny Moore, I thought it might be right on his distance, those tired old legs, but he certainly came home for the Tigers there.
Feast in the ruck for Sturt, opposed to Cranston. Simon Feast, 199th game between AFL and SANFL football as the Bays just make a quick change down there and out of the middle, Ruwalt. Nelson almost over it, he did. Douglas, oh, a fresh air from Douglas. Whiteman was desperate. They're throwing themselves in. Ruwalt was pulled down below the knee by Matner, according to the umpire. Ruwalt can go short for McConnell. McConnell, it may not be your day, but it may be your moment. And he thumps it long. And Whiteman takes it in the square. It might be Whiteman's day.
He's certainly been good, Whiteman. He's been strong all day, and that could be his most important mark for the day, just about.
Nelson wide for O'Keefe, nudge Sherwood. Umpire said illegal. Sherwood, he comes inboard and then thinks no. Goes by the left foot, and you can tell it's not his preferred foot. Now it goes past him. Weatherall to try and boot it off the ground, he missed. Fisher released a hand pass centre field. Kane with pace. They're still a long way from goal. McConnell's not. He's loose inside 50. He couldn't take it. And it might be his moment yet. No. Not through for the minor score. Justin McConnell. Let's have a look at his last kick.
And it ended up. That was a great mark. Deep in defence there. But if I was Sturt, I'd be manning up on McConnell. He's the sort of guy that could get a late kick and kick the goal for them. He's had a couple of late touches here.
Oh, he's looking every bit like it, Justin McConnell, at the moment. You're dead right, Jiggy. They need to man him up. Nelson pulls it back into the corridor. Dangerous kick. Hinges there. Plenty of numbers for the Bays. Here's Kirkby. Kirkby got the kick away. Chance of a mark here. Up they go. No one can take it. Fisher. Handball on. Douglas to Moore. Moore runs into the open goal. Bays are in front. The Bays are in front for the first time in this game, and it's taken them till the 25-minute mark of the final term. Ben Moore's second. Micken on the phone. Stephen Rowe having plenty to say. Let's have a look at this, Chiggy.
Well, Kirkby has stood up in this last quarter. We said he was going to have to be for the Glenelg to have a chance. Richie Douglas, another one, he's done it. Benny Moore, his second goal. Could be a big game for Benny Moore. As Soda said, he's going to retire as soon as the Bays are out of this finals race. And he wants to last another week. It's going to be very hot now. There can't be that much time. We see McConnell drifting back as that loose man in defence now.
Now it's Sturt that desperately needs to clear the ball from the middle. Backwell was pulled away by Evans. Now O'Keefe. O'Keefe goes for Gum. Inside 50. Gum. He can't think there's much time on the clock. He's got a kick with the breeze and started out to the right. We'll get a great angle on this one. Tristan Gum starts at far to right. Still a chance for a mark, and Feaster's got it! Another veteran! Can he pull off a miracle escape for the Double Blues? Because 30 seconds ago you would have backed the Tigers.
It's a big feisty there, just too strong. Again, Kirkby just couldn't get his fist to it. The big man, important kick for Sturt here.
Two-time best and fairest winner, veteran of the 2002 Premiership. He's missed from 20 metres.
God, how much more drama can this game have?
Margin, 1 point. This is Mark Micken's reaction in the coaching box after the last goal. Remember, if it's a draw, we've got extra time. There are no draws in finals football except for the grand final.
What's this business about extra time? We haven't heard of it for a long time. We haven't had to do it. Short kick. Spots up Fisher. Time ticking away. 27.5 minutes gone. Nick Chigwiggen goes for something a bit stronger than the headache tablets.
Oh, God, it's going to be tight here. Can't waste the time.
Jiggy, no player in the back half for Glenelg there.
Fisher high. Smith couldn't take the mark. What a lot of players around this football. Close to the line. Douglas taken there. A chance to set up. A boundary throw in. 28 minutes gone. Scratch of the head. Who'd be a coach? Oh, goodness me. Ricky McGowan. Oh, they are loving it, though, you'd think. Boundary throw in. Next score wins, you'd think. Cranston with the tackle. Mules steps through the traffic. Got the kick away. Here's Holmes. Siren! At the draw. Over the point.
Glenelg by a point.
Glenelg by a point. They win. The Bays have won a game where they were never in front till the 25-minute mark of the final term.
Ricky McGowan would be a shattered man. Sturt did it so well for most of the day. They've done it so well for most of the season. And they are Crane, we see sitting on the ground there. There we go, Neil. There's the score. Glenelg 8-9-57 to Sturt 8-8-56.
And the Bays win yet another elimination final, 6 wins and 2 losses as a club. And Chiggy, I'll remind you again, you'll take great delight in this, that every time they win an elimination final, they get through to a grand final.
Well, they certainly showed a bit of heart there today coming back. We see Simon Feast. He'll be a disappointed man. Not an easy kick, that last kick, though, under so much pressure. But he would be disappointed. Been a big, strong effort by both clubs here today. What a fantastic game of football.
Double Blues are out for season 2007. The Bays advance. The qualifying final is coming up between the Eagles and North Adelaide. Rick McGowan, so much achievement this season. but they just fell towards the end of the season, and this afternoon they've fallen to the Bays. And Sodas has a veteran and a hero, Benny Moore, with Mark Soderstrom.
Certainly the man of the moment, backdoor Benny Moore. What about that? You were obviously staring the end of your career there with that set shot, the first one. What was going through the head?
Mate, it's a bit of a breeze out here, so I was just hitting that right post and praying that she swung in, so just lucky, mate, I think.
Well, you placed it very nicely with those little legs, and then again, just to follow it up, that was just a fairy tale.
Right spot at the right time, so yeah, another lucky one. But I'm good, we got those 2 goals for the boys and got us up by a point, so it's sensational.
It was a funny game, Benny, because very tight early with the conditions, but even with you mentioned the wind and that, but boy, it really opened up into a cracker in that last quarter.
Yeah, look, Sturt are a great side, and it was just pressure the whole day. Couldn't break tackles, just everything was just like under pressure. So it's just a great win by the boys under those circumstances.
Well, Benny, it was first time since '99, of course, the finals were straight sets. You were over in Richmond at the time, but the boys, there'll be no trouble about keeping a lid on this.
Oh, look, no, we're still got hopefully a little way to go yet, so we'll keep a lid on it, and we'll look at Northern Eagles and see who we've got next week.
Well, mate, the journey continues. The boots, you can keep them in the bag. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, got another game to go. Thank God. Thanks.
So we look through the match highlights, and what a match it was, Jiggy. The last time they played an elimination final, Glenelg, was in 1988. They won by 59 points over the Double Blues. It was just a little closer this afternoon.
Can't get much closer than 1 point. And we see Chambers, some highlights of him here today. He was fantastic all day. But Sturt played well all day. A good move by Micken throwing Rudolph up forward. Certainly hurt his knee against Chambers in that, I think it was the second quarter, and then went forward when he came back on, and he was very damaging up forward, finishing off with 3 goals.
Well, they led by 21 points at quarter time, the Double Blues, and seemingly had things in control early in the second term. And the Bays began to hit back. It was a long, slow grind. We see Chambers, who started this afternoon, and Chambers, who finishes the season with 112 goals.
He's had a fantastic year. Certainly not many forwards kick 100 goals in the year, and he's been the main catalyst, I think, of Sturt having a great year. But again, Simon Feast was good for them again today. Missed the last goal. Crane got absolutely barreled early with that clash of heads. Showed a lot of character and courage to come back on, and was a good player for them. Probably did take a bit of heat out of him, though. There's no doubt that hit the heads. Bit of a lucky bounce there from Sammy Rudolph. There's no doubt the Bays continued to work hard, but had a couple of moments of luck there, and I think they certainly did have a good run with the umpire, especially early.
Now, Charlie Sharples, in just his second game of league footy, beautiful lace-out pass for Chambers, and at this stage it looked like Sturt were going to do enough. Chambers is the 700-plus goal kicker in the past 20 years. 4 of those teams with a 100-goal kicker went on to win the premiership. Not Grant Chambers and Sturt, Benny Moore. And there it is. And the Bays held on, didn't they? A fantastic elimination final this afternoon. And there's the celebration. Give me more. Mark Micken very happy with that result. As we just look through the scores quarter by quarter, as I said, Jiggy, ground down, 21 points at quarter time, 14 at half time, 7 at three-quarter time in favour of Sturt, and 1 point the final margin in the lowest winning score ever between Sturt and Glenelg in the history of 230 games.
And then we see Grant Chambers, 6 goals, had a fantastic day. Whiteman kicked a goal. He was fantastic, most of his time in defence. So Rudolph, the move up forward, 3. Marnie, a couple of very important ones. And Benny Moore in that last quarter, 2 very important goals.
And quickly through those stats, the inside 50s in the end favoured the Bays, and it seemed like those Sturt with Chambers was a little more efficient.
They certainly were. He was dangerous in front of goals. We see the centre breaks there. Sturt won it out of the centre, 11-8. But apart from that, it was a pretty close in all the stats, as you'd imagine, with a 1-point ball game.
And it was Glenelg, 8-9-57 to advance in this final series, beating Sturt 8-8-56. A 1-point margin. What a game, the elimination final. Well, earlier this afternoon, we saw an excellent game between Glenelg and Sturt led pretty much all day, 21, well, they did, until the 25.5-minute mark of the final quarter, when Ben Moore, the veteran who will retire at the end of the season, the former Tiger captain, put his side in front, and they held on to win by just 1 point. It was a great match, and we very much enjoyed it. Chambers kicking 6, Brant Chambers for Sturt. Rudolph, unusually, going forward. Marnie, Moore, the multiple goal kickers for the Tigers.
Well, the Tigers did pretty well to get out of jail. I mean, they just hung in there. Sturt looked like they were in control all game, but as you can see, their stats didn't really tell us a true indication of the arm wrestle that it was, and Glenelg just got home and we're in front at the final siren when it counts.
That's their first finals win since 1992, and boy, did they sing their song with gusto. Last year's McGarry medalist there, Brett Backwell, celebrating again, as I use that word, gusto.
They were pumped up, weren't they? They were really singing that like it meant something to them, and it did, obviously.
Obviously, the coach, Mark Micken, always a little understated, was very happy, and he was very happy, of course, when Michael Maney caught up with him.
Well, Mark, a real hard stopper, but you found yourself in front right at the end.
Yeah, look, I mean, you need a little bit of luck at times, and we had some today, there's no question about that, because we struggled all day. We didn't really get any run going and much quick ball movement, but we just battled away and ground away at it, and as you say, we were in front at the right time, and I must say my heart goes out to Sturt, because they probably had the better of the play for a lot of the day, but credit to our guys for just sticking at it, and persistence has been one of the things that we've really tried to work on this year, and it came in pretty handy today.
Can you find a turning point in that last term? Kirkby just seemed to get his hands on the ball. McConnell, just at the stoppage, he just seemed to get the breaks.
Yeah, Rory I thought was fantastic all day. I thought even when we weren't playing well, Rory was really presenting and giving us a target to kick to. I thought his performance was just sensational, and Justin came into it at the right time, had been quiet but came into it and gave us some important ball going forward. So, but I thought the whole team lifted when we really needed it, and we got the result.
Pretty tough out there with the conditions too, for the boys to keep sticking at it with that swirling breeze. It made for pretty difficult football most of the day. Yeah,
it was probably never going to be a real pretty game because of that, but it was always important to just grind away and win the ball inside, and we struggled with that for a while, and eventually we got on top probably in that area. I haven't seen the stats, but it seems like we did, and we were able to get enough ball going forward. Our third quarter we had a lot more inside 50s, and then in the last quarter we just ground away at it, and I thought the boys showed a lot of courage and great character.
Mark Micken very happy with the 1-point victory. You've always got to be happy with that over Sturt. That puts Sturt out of the finals race this year, and then with North Adelaide winning this afternoon over the Eagles, they advance to a second semi-final showdown with Central District. Join us next week from 1:30 for all the finals action as it continues in week 2 of the SANFL finals. We'll see you then. Should be a great clash between the Eagles and Glenelg, Centrals and North Adelaide. Thanks for your company this afternoon, and we'll be back next week with more of SANFL finals action.
Thank you.